flavor is Dr.
There's actually
All of
19 flavors.
No,
isn't there?
23.
You bet.
Oh my gosh, you're not real.
Ow.
Watch the mic, Owen. You can hit me, not the mic. No, don't actually.
You gave me permission.
No, I didn't. Sorry.
Simmer down.
Hey guys.
Hey.
I'm keeping that in. Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome back.
The White Guys podcast.
Yep. Here we are with a third white guy.
Yeah.
Oh, it's true.
The
White Guys part 3.
thou.
I mean times 3.
Wow.
The thou?
Yeah.
Leela Lay.
Oh yeah, Jöel's French. Layla.
Yeah,
White Guys
only two
podcast.
halves. Only 2 halves French.
2 halves French. So it's Layla now, not the.
Le
Le White Guy podcast.
White Guy podcast. Well, yeah. Thanks for having me back.
Yes.
This is part 2 of our Resident Evil
Marathon.
Paul W.S. Anderson
Discussion.
movies.
Yep.
Yeah.
And okay, so we're at number 4.
Yes.
Yeah.
Resident Evil
Evil
Afterlife.
Yeah.
Garrett is kind of fathomed.
He's
Guys, I'm
tweaking off the
literally
Percocet.
tweaking to talk about this movie. This movie was probably the best one. No,
Yeah.
it's not true. The 5th one was the best one, but this one was
the 4th one's really fun. I've
They're
seen it
both
so
really
many
good.
times.
the 4th one. The beginning is the best scene of the entire
All right,
series.
Garrett, run us
Totally.
through the beginning.
All right, so the movie opens on the ending of the movie before this, naturally, as all of them do.
No, it doesn't actually. It opens with the weird Japan
Oh,
outbreak
you're right.
scene.
It opens with the Japan
Oh, with the
scene.
girl and the
Yeah,
umbrellas.
yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Sorry.
Scratch
'Cause
everything
sorry
I just
for
said.
That
letting you
scene
down.
does come later though.
Again. They replay it
They
in
replay
5.
it. So
Yeah. Okay, well,
Sorry,
they repeat
Garrett.
so many scenes in this series that I don't even
there's
know
some
anymore.
confusing.
Comment
Jumps.
if you've also shut down Garrett before.
Okay, what? Okay, doesn't whatever.
It's common.
The scene opens on Tokyo, Japan, and they kind of zoom in on like some random square,
Yeah.
and the bunch of people, as I don't know,
They're walking by with
as
their
happens,
umbrellas.
they're all
It's
walking
raining.
through. It's
They're walking
raining,
through this like a intersection.
and there's
there's a
one
girl.
girl that just looks like sickly.
And she's
She
no
also
umbrella.
her outfit uggo. Sorry.
Uggo? I don't remember
Not
that.
sorry.
Her outfit is disgusting, but it doesn't matter because she
Not
turns
only
into a
does she look-
zombie,
Yeah.
True.
And
True.
she
and she eats a guy,
lunges at a man's neck.
and then they do
and
the
he like instantly spits up blood. It's kind of
Yeah.
hilarious to me.
He's like, but he's also like looking at her before it
He's
happens.
like-
Like he knows.
yeah.
He's like,
and yet he continues to walk at
Continue-
her.
yeah.
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 And then they do the I'm pretty sure then they do the like blueprint thing where they show the underground base that's under Japan.
I can't remember.
I don't know. I'll
Doesn't
take your
matter.
word
They
for it.
end up in the base, it's another
There's a scene of these snipers getting attacked by something or someone,
yeah.
and then Wesker sees it from inside the Kyoto
Well,
base.
yeah, they don't know who Wesker is.
Yeah, Wesker.
And
Who's Wesker?
he's important to this scene.
Yeah, so
Okay,
what?
shut up.
What?
Shut up.
Explain who Wesker is.
Who is
I'm
Wesker?
gonna.
Okay. Do it then.
So Wesker
Stop
is
stalling.
Wesker. Comment if you've canceled me before. You've
What?
shut me down before.
Who is Wesker?
Wesker is like the head of Umbrella, basically. He's
Or as far as we know.
yeah. At this point, he's the head of Umbrella.
I
sort
think
of.
probably in the filmmaker's mind when he was making the 4th movie, Wesker was the head of Umbrella.
Yeah, he's just this blonde guy with slicked back hair.
He looks like Agent Smith from The Matrix.
He does.
So
If
he's the
Agent
most
Smith had
Matrix
blonde
looking.
hair, he
Like
looks
the
exactly
the
like
sunglasses.
Agent
Yeah.
Smith. Kind of like
Yeah.
Yeah.
slick outfit.
The
And
leather
he's-
Leather
coat.
outfit.
He's a very cutthroat
Yeah.
boss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He kills people for questioning him.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a scene where a guy's
Pretty
like,
funny.
"Are you sure about that?" And he just like
Domes him.
unloads him on the face.
Dumps him.
It's so funny. Okay, now
Now what?
you wanted to describe the
Oh, yeah.
opening
What
scene.
happened?
Oh, now.
Idiot.
So we go to the top of the underground base, and they're in like shut up. And we're in like a garage, right? And there's a bunch of like Japanese soldiers, and they're all waiting because at the door, Alice shows up. The doors open, and there is one at first. Only one Alice shows up.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, one Alice shows up, kills like every Japanese soldier in the freaking garage, right? And then like 30 more of them show up and just out of nowhere and like dome her in the back of the head. And she dies, and you're kind of sitting there like,
huh?
What kind of an intro was that? And then 3 Alices show up.
Spawn
In the last one,
If you remember from a week ago,
when you made it to the end of that,
when you
episode.
watched the episode,
what we just talked about like 5 minutes ago. She has clones. She has a whole family of them, like a whole troop.
3 Alices show up in this garage, and then actually it cuts to the like intro that W.S. Anderson decided he was doing at these 3, where it's like, my name is Alice.
Yeah. Oh, like every movie starts with that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
That's
yes.
later. That's
no. That's
There's
right then.
Does that happen at the very
it's right
beginning?
then.
It's right
it does
then.
Not happen at the
Yes,
very
it's right then.
You skipped like 7 different. No.
Does that happen after the explosion?
No,
No,
because
we're not there yet.
there's no way that scene happens.
Yes, it does.
I've watched the 4th movie like 7 times.
You know what?
There's
It doesn't.
no way
it
that
doesn't
happens.
even matter,
Does
man.
it happen at all?
No, I think it's just in 5 and 6.
No, they do it in 4. I swear, because it
And they
happens
do it
3
here.
times at
They
least.
do it here.
I'm pretty sure they do it there.
We should
My name
we
is
should
Alice.
redo the marathon.
Yeah. So the 3 show
Hey,
up.
whatever.
Doesn't even matter. 3 more Alices show up, and they kill all the Japanese soldiers, and then they run
Racist.
into the base. Why? How is that racist? Tell me how that's racist. I never said anything about. I just said they were Japanese.
Says another nationality.
Racism.
Racist.
No.
I'm not saying that you're racist. I'm saying they're racist for killing them all.
Oh, that might be true. Okay, so so 3 Alices show up. That's where I was, right?
Mhm.
And they jump down the elevator shaft. They show up. They just kind of like kill a bunch of people.
It's actually such a cool scene.
It's so cool.
The action in this scene is so good.
Yeah, they just like, and all of them have like telekinesis.
Yeah, they all have
Similar
telekinesis.
powers.
They're dressed in like full body leather with like
Yeah.
a long. Their hair slicked back.
Slick back.
Do they have a ponytail? Is that a
I
thing?
think it. Yeah.
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 Alice
They have, like-
essentially becomes the most powerful protagonist in all
It's-
of cinema.
And there's like 800 of
Because
her.
there's 800 of her. They all have super strength. They all are like
Yeah, they have super strength,
super agility
super agility,
It's like a bunch of like Captain Americas just
and
Yeah.
telekinesis.
and telekinesis, and
Yeah.
2 SMGs, and grenades, and
Yeah.
knives, and katanas.
So they just do like a 10-minute montage of them like massacring this Japanese
Yeah.
base.
It's
Yeah.
so cool.
And they chase Wesker all the way to like a helicopter or like escape pod vessel, like a
Mhm.
place, garage.
yeah,
And then Wesker hops in. Wesker manages to escape.
yeah.
And all of the clones are like, oh crap.
Darn.
And then
Gone.
Wesker's, as he's flying away, he just he sets off like a I don't
it's
even
like
know.
a singularity.
He like presses a button and
bomb.
the entire city of Tokyo is just engulfed in like a black hole.
Like
It's
literally,
crazy.
it's like a giant crater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So deep.
Scorched Earth protocol if
Scorched
I've
Earth.
ever seen it.
It's like literally
And there go all the clones.
every-
All of the clones.
every single
So-
clone that they created in the last movie is
So
now
the whole-
dead.
The like cliffhanger huge event from like the last one is that there's a ton of clones
Mhm.
and they're all gone.
None of
within
it
the
matters.
First
Like 20 minutes.
20 minutes of this movie, and
Yeah.
that's it.
They're gone. They
That's
don't
it.
come back.
They don't come
that
back.
plot point's over.
Because the actual Alice
Well,
made
not
it on
quite.
the ship, right?
Yeah, she's
so
she's
she
on the
makes
ship.
it on the
and
ship.
you know it's the real Alice because she has a different haircut.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
She's got like a
A
bob?
Yeah,
No,
the real
is
the
it?
real Alice is on the ship with Wesker when he sets off the singularity, but somehow all like 80,000 of the clones that existed were all in Tokyo and
Yeah.
all
They're all
blew up.
dead,
And
yeah.
Every
That's
single
it.
one of them.
That's it.
So
like-
no more cool clones.
Like we
Yeah.
open this movie with that montage of the clones killing everyone,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
And
It's
like my
so
first
cool.
It is
my
really
first
cool.
like I was starting to think of all the like logic of like how are we gonna know which one's the real Alice for the rest of the film, and then none of it mattered
Well,
they
because they
answered
all
your
died.
question.
And then even worse, in the helicopter, the real Alice goes to kill Wesker, but she does it in like a snarky protagonist way where she like goes up behind his head and she's like, "You really thought you got me,
Yeah.
didn't you?" And then he like uses his superpowers because Wesker has superpowers
Yeah.
to turn around and like inject her with a virus that gets rid of her
Yeah,
telekinesis.
no, she
So-
gives because she was infected with the
What
T
did you
virus.
just put in me?
It was the antivirus.
Yeah. And then it shows like an X-ray kind of shot
Yeah.
of the like virus, like the new virus. or
Yeah.
whatever,
Eating the old virus.
Yeah,
one.
and she just
crazy.
like not only is the clones done, but now
Yeah.
she doesn't have
Doesn't have
superpowers.
And she,
boom.
yeah,
Boom, done.
No more
Done.
superpowers.
No more superpowers, no more clones. All the
she-
interesting things that happened in the last 2 movies are over.
Like what?
But she takes it like a champ.
Oh, yeah.
honestly.
Once again,
Yeah,
quick reminder, this is a zombie movie.
No,
I don't know
not
if you
real,
remember.
Not real. Is that why the opening scene isn't the clones? It's like the zombie apocalypse in Tokyo, so that they can like
So then-
remind
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Okay, by the way,
just so
before we
that
get into this,
just so everyone understood that it's a zombie movie before they actually like get into the
Mhm.
the actually interesting stuff like with the
Yeah.
clones. They were like, let's just have one girl infect all of Tokyo and
By
then we can
herself.
do it.
How'd she get infected?
Doesn't
I
matter
don't
because she
know.
got blown up.
No.
She also died
Probably
in the
died
black hole.
that.
in the
Singularity.
Yeah.
singularity garbage.
Okay, and then not only are both of those storylines done, but then she flies to
wait,
Alaska. No, there's
I-
not.
No, I have something
No,
to
because
say.
Okay.
wait, she fights with Wesker.
Yeah, she
in the
fights
plane,
with Wesker
and
in
they
the
crash
plane.
into a mountain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
This
it's
is what I thought.
crazy.
And she
was so
walks
funny.
away.
It's so
They
funny.
crash into a mountain and somehow like
It
go.
crashes.
They go like up the mountain.
yeah.
Which I mean, I've never been in a plane crash. Knock on wood. But I feel like that wouldn't happen like that if the plane is going super fast. What you want the?
No, knock on that wood.
They go like up the mountain. They like crash uphill,
Mm-hmm.
and then she just leaves.
It's actually
Scott.
so
She just
funny. They're
gets
like
up.
fighting in the back of the thing, and then the aircraft just says, "Warning, terrain,
Yeah.
terrain," and it's like, does it not have autopilot? Does
Yeah.
Wesker not think maybe is that a mountain
Pull up?
over there?
Like,
Maybe
yeah.
I should pull up.
They also at this point do like the most useless slow mo I've
It
ever
looks
seen.
so
Yeah, it's
bad.
It looks so bad. They're like
It's a
frozen in
freeze frame
time.
almost. It's like a
Yeah.
Of
floating
like
in the air.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
the plane crashes and Alice just kind of
And-
gets up and walks away.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, you're supposed to think, oh, Wesker is dead. Wesker has superpowers, so he's
Yeah.
like, I should talk about that actually.
Yeah, do it.
Wesker has like Alice's abilities but on steroids, except
Yeah.
he doesn't have telekinesis. He has like super
He's
speed.
like the Flash.
Not like-
he sees bullets coming and he just like dodges.
Yeah, he
like,
just dodges them.
Like
He's
Neo.
yeah, like
Mhm.
exactly like Neo.
Like he's literally an agent.
and he has like
Yeah.
he has like Wolverine level durability.
Yeah.
He could be reduced to one blood cell and be okay.
I think it happens at one point.
Yeah, because he comes back in 6 after the ending of 4. Okay, anyway, we'll come back to that because that's insane too. But anyway,
Okay, can I
yeah, you go.
Okay,
you go.
so not only are both of those two storylines over, but then Alice gets a plane somehow. I don't really remember how. It doesn't really matter. Not important, unexplained. She flies to Alaska, and not only is the clones, she doesn't have superpowers, but also the entire plot of the third movie of her trying to get to Alaska just
Mhm.
doesn't matter because there's nothing in Alaska. Nothing's
Yeah,
there.
Just like a plain graveyard, essentially.
Yeah, they do explain that later, but
yeah.
in the moment, it seems just like literally everything you just watched for the like 4.5 hours that we spent watching
Yeah.
the first 3
or,
movies.
like, reducing it.
None of it mattered.
Yeah, it might as well be a different franchise in a lot of
Yeah.
ways. Like
Yeah.
because they erase all those plot points
Yeah,
so fast.
they erased
Yeah.
every plot point that was interesting,
Yeah.
except the zombies.
And I
but
think,
you
honestly,
wouldn't know.
Zombies kind of just linger around. They're just
Yeah.
like there.
I will say they erase the plot points in a really cool way. So
True.
you as a viewer, you don't feel super jilted, but it is still like, wow.
They bring new
Yeah.
things out.
Yeah, they
don't-
bring new
replace
things.
it with other stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
She finds Claire.
She finds Claire, but
the
Claire's been
airfield.
like she has this like red spider thing on
Yeah,
her chest that
Mhm.
like makes her evil,
Mhm.
and
And
that's
gives her memory
important.
loss
That's
also.
important.
yeah,
Remember
she-
that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it gives her memory loss as well, so she doesn't know who she is.
Mm-hmm.
Alice picks her up and takes her and they fly to LA.
Why do they fly to LA?
I don't know why I think they're looking for people. Because then they're flying over LA and then they see in this like prison that's like freaking like 20
in the
stories
center of
tall
LA.
right in the center of LA. It's like a maximum security prison with fences
Yeah.
all the way around.
Yeah.
Zombies can't get in because it's like fully fenced.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 5 people there that have like created like an SOS on the roof, and that's what
Yeah.
kind of draws Alice to them. And Alice like lands on the top of the building,
Yeah.
lands the plane.
It's kind of crazy though. Like
Oh yeah.
so they think that's like, have we talked about the boat?
No.
No, we
That's
don't get there
later.
yet.
We don't get there yet. So yeah, she lands the plane. It's kind of like an aircraft carrier. Like there's like that.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever seen
Mhm,
footage
yeah,
of it, there's
yeah.
like a big like
Runway.
runway, but there's like
It's made of
like
gravel.
a bungee cord, I guess you could call
Yeah.
it. Like a big
Yeah.
wire that like slows the plane down.
Yeah, the people are the
The
bungee
people are-
cord in
yeah.
this scenario.
No, they have like remember the guy has like
Oh,
a
true.
thing?
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
the plane lands, hits the cord, and it like slows down, and it stops right at the edge of the tower,
Mm-hmm.
leans over a bit, and then they all like run to the back and pull it down. It's actually a pretty cool scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is where they
yeah.
introduce some of the most important characters.
Yeah.
Actually, only one.
Yeah.
They introduced this guy named
Luther.
Luther,
And
who's
he's
like a
NBA.
he's like a professional
Yeah.
basketball player or something.
Who's also like a watch model.
Yeah, I don't know. He's
Yeah.
like the coolest guy in
He's
the
really
series. I'm not
cool,
gonna
yeah.
lie.
So they're all like super friendly, or Alice is super friendly to all of them,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
Claire just is
n-
pissy.
Claire's not, which is I don't know. It's interesting for Claire. to
I mean,
act
she
that
has
way.
memory loss.
Yeah,
Yeah, she doesn't know
But
anything.
usually, like in 2, Alice is the.
yeah,
But I guess like in the scene where she gets her powers removed, what she says like, "Thanks, you made me human again,"
yeah,
which is like maybe why she's nicer.
yeah.
Maybe
I don't know. So they spend some time in this prison.
the whole
and the
movie
zombies.
almost.
Yeah, so like all of LA are like turned into zombies now and are
Yeah.
like surrounding
Yeah.
this prison because they
And-
know there are people in there.
Yeah, these zombies are nasty. They have like Demogorgon mouths, like
Yeah,
inside
Yeah.
their mouth.
their
that come
mouths
out.
like
yeah.
open.
They have like it's like some squid thing, like
Yeah.
it's tentacles that just kind of-
Las Plagas.
Las Plagas.
and the
Two.
zombies also like have learned to dig.
Yeah.
So they're like slowly burrowing themselves into the prison.
Like, smarter.
There's also a big
Yeah, so
hammer guy.
yeah, just this
Oh yeah, in the
random like,
shower.
That's later, but yeah.
9 foot tall dude.
Yeah.
with like a
with
like
nails in his
he
head.
has like nails and like a burlap sack
wearing
Over his
stuck in
head.
face.
And it's never
Sackcloth.
explained where he comes from or who he is.
yeah, he's
Is it explained in the games though? Because
yeah, he's a reference to something from Resident Evil 5 and 6, I think.
Mm.
But I don't know. I don't
I'm not
know
familiar.
why. It's probably similar
I
to the
don't
like
know, man.
El Gigante stuff from 4.
It's just weird experiments that probably Umbrella did,
yeah.
and things went wrong. They tested viruses
yeah.
with certain things.
Yeah, he might as well
Yeah.
just be Nemesis if he had a hammer.
Pretty
basically.
much, but he
he's
has-
kind of just up along the fence.
Yeah.
Trying
Yeah.
He's banging
Get
the
in,
door.
Banging
and
the
like
door.
they're slowly pushing down
Pushing.
Yeah.
the big fence.
Yeah, so he eventually like oh, there's a guy in the prison that all of the other people in the prison have kept in a cell because
Yeah.
he's like a murderer. I don't even really understand their like problem
Dilemma?
with letting him out because
Yeah.
like even if he's a murderer, there are only 6 people left in like the
Wait.
entire city.
Chris.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah, it's
Chris Redfield from
Chris Redfield.
Resident Evil 1
Claire's-
and 5.
Claire's
Yeah.
brother.
And
Played-
Code Veronica.
Played by I don't know his name.
Wentworth Miller.
Wentworth Miller, guy from
Yeah, they just kind of leave him in jail, which makes no sense. Like there are 6
Mhm.
people left in all of LA and they're all in this prison. And for whatever
Yeah.
reason, they still think it's necessary to
Yeah.
keep him in a jail cell.
Yeah, but they keep that psycho Bennett just walking around.
Yeah, exactly.
He sucks.
Yeah, there are dudes out that are weirder than
then
Than
Than
Chris.
Chris.
Yeah.
but
And Mr.
yeah.
Miller.
Eventually they let him out because he's like an ex-military
And-
agent.
Yeah, Alice kinda
and he
convinces them.
knows more things about the prison because he used
Yeah.
to work there.
Yeah. They don't explain that, but that doesn't matter. They let him out eventually and they go to like the basement of the prison, which
Yeah.
has like a tank, and that's how they decide they're gonna like escape,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
they
Because-
try to go to the armory also.
Yeah, because the people in the jail explained to Alice that what she was looking for in Alaska, which was what do they call it?
Arcadia.
Arcadia.
The safe haven.
Arcadia.
The safe haven.
No infection.
Yeah, they explained to her that Arcadia is not like a
Arcadia.
place; it's a boat. So it actually was in Alaska when they were trying to get to Alaska. It just then it moved and is now
Yeah.
sitting outside LA, and they can like see it on their binoculars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So their goal is to get to that because that's supposed to be safe. They send out like radio waves that are like, "Come to Arcadia, it's safe and there's
Yeah.
no infection" or something.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's basically
No.
exactly how it goes. We both know that's how it goes.
Well, yeah, that's how it goes.
Yep. Okay. So
You're just
In that voice.
yeah, so Chris
No.
explains the plan, which is to take the tank and just kind of drive through all the zombies.
yeah.
Which is an interesting.
Which- Does it even happen?
Yeah, they never do that.
Yeah.
We'll
they
get there.
Yeah. Okay. So they go to the armory, which is
Uh-huh.
like completely submerged by water, which was an interesting scene. But they have their eyes open in this grimy
Yeah.
water.
I feel bad for the actors
Oh
there.
my gosh, it's actually so disgusting. But they get to the armory, they get all the guns, they come back. Bennett betrays them.
The weird dude.
Yeah, he
Takes
And the weird dude we were
Hops
talking
in the
about.
jet.
kills one of the guys and steals the plane
Mhm.
and almost dies, but leaves and he's gone for a
Yeah.
while.
He gets to the boat,
Yeah.
flies to the boat on the plane.
Yeah.
When does the shower fight with
I think it's right here.
right
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Alice
'Cause this
goes
is
to take
where-
a shower. Luther shows her the shower. There's some weird
Yeah,
dynamic.
No,
that's
no,
the
no.
first. This is
This
way
is later, yeah.
After.
That
'Cause
scene
they,
doesn't matter.
They
No,
they
yeah, it does.
decide. There's a scene earlier where Alice tries to shower, and then
Yeah.
that's where they discover
That's
that the
where they
zombies can burrow
They
in.
just leave the water on for too long.
Yeah, that's true.
That was really
So
bothersome.
the zombies burrow in and show up,
Mhm.
and then there's like a peeping Tom that's like watching Alice shower,
He gets ate.
and the zombies eat him
Gets
and then
killed.
retreat back into their hole. And then in this scene, they decide, what if we just go through the zombies' holes?
Mhm.
Right.
So that sounds odd. They decide to go through the zombies' holes that they dug.
You did not
Little-
have to say it again.
You heard it
It's
here
your
twice.
You heard it here twice. Alice, no, I'm not going to say it again.
They hop
Oh.
in the little
The zombie
gopher
holes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so
To
they
escape.
they hop in there, and that's where the dude with the
Yeah,
burlap
big
sack
hammer guy
breaks through the
attacks.
fence and comes and attacks them in the shower.
Yeah. This scene is really cool also.
It is pretty sick. Claire fights.
yeah,
Claire,
Claire
and
fights-
Alice,
Claire and Alice
fight
fight the
this
big
big
man.
man.
Yeah, Alice gets knocked out in the first like 2 minutes, and
Yeah.
then Claire fights him by herself.
For like 5 minutes.
And like during the entire scene, it's like raining water because
Yeah.
Because the shower is
The shower-
been like busted, so it's like
by
Spraying
the
water
monster.
everywhere.
So then she like, we didn't even mention that Alice has like the shotguns with the
with the
quarters
coin.
in them.
Yeah.
Oh, true.
That
Well,
was
that
really
that
cool.
only becomes important in this scene. So
No, it's
she doesn't
important
use it
before.
before. No, this is the first time she
Oh
uses
no,
it.
you're right because she uses this and then she goes upstairs and jumps
Yeah.
on, which you missed. 'Cause
What?
He's making din din.
Oh yeah, did you leave at this point?
He did when she. Anyway, I'll get to the. You see,
Okay.
you wouldn't remember because you missed it.
Whatever.
Yeah. So they fight the giant hammer guy,
Yeah.
and it's pretty cool.
It's a
you
pretty
know,
cool fight scene.
Claire like slides under him and shoots him in the head with the coin gun,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
like falls to his like on his face, and she's like, "I did it."
But she didn't.
But she didn't.
Boom.
And
No.
it gets back up and
Yeah.
it like throws the axe at her. And just in time,
Alice just pops up. She's not unconscious anymore, and just like grabs Claire, ducks,
yeah.
and then she
It's one of
turns
my
around.
favorite shots.
Yeah, she turns around.
no
The axe goes like right over them. They get a sick slow-mo shot.
Mhm.
And then Alice turns around and shotguns the dude in the face,
From long
blows his
distance.
head clean off
Yeah.
with the coin gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
All the
and
cool-
then
like,
he
falls
falls
over.
Yeah.
falls down, and then the coins kind of just fall on the ground as if they just dropped out of him like a video
Yeah.
game.
It's
so
pretty
sick.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then Claire goes
Down the
through-
hole
yeah,
into
through
the
the
zombie's
hole.
hole.
You are the freak, Bob. She goes down through the holes, and then Alice goes to jump off the top of the building, which was crazy. Oh no, they go through that elevator.
Oh,
They have to put them in
yeah.
that elevator, and then Alice like detonates a bomb on top of the elevator so that it goes
Oh,
down to
yeah,
the first
yeah.
floor.
She like stays. Yeah. right.
Yeah, and then Alice jumps off the roof of the building, attached to like the bungee
Oh
cord.
no, I was there for this. I remember this.
No, you didn't see her blow. You saw her blow up the elevator, but not the entire roof of the prison. You missed that. That was
Okay,
sad.
whatever.
Who's making chicken nuggets for us?
I was
So it's
making
Chicken
valid.
nuggets.
I was making chicken strips for everyone.
Valid excuse
Mhm.
to
It
leave.
was valid, yeah. So she jumps off in a pretty cool scene. They play this sound clip that I think is really fun. I can't remember how it goes because I never can. But she lands on the bottom. It's actually kind of funny. She like daintily lands and walks a little bit. She does a combat roll.
Yeah.
And the cord just isn't attached anymore. And then she shoots a ton of zombies with her quarter-filled guns as she runs to where the other guys are.
Doesn't she shoot a zombie and then like the garage door, whatever, closes?
Yeah.
And then there are like
Yeah,
there
yeah.
are
she
coin
shoots-
holes.
So there's like a garage door that's up,
Mhm.
right? And she shoots like where the garage door would close to. And then the garage door closes, and then there's like all the like coin, like the coin shaped holes in the door, which makes no sense because the door was open like, up. Anyway, that was a really funny shot, a really cheesy shot.
Mm-hmm.
And then what happens? Because
Then they go.
This is blurry in my memory. This photo.
Basically, they just get to Arcadia. I can't remember
Yeah,
how.
it doesn't
but they
really
get
matter
to
how
Arcadia.
they get it, but they get to the
ship.
The ship.
They go into
And
the
then-
ship. They find out that all the like it's completely empty, but then
Yeah.
they find like this pure white
This
room.
ginormous
Yeah.
white room. It's like
The entire inside of the boat is just this big white room
Mhm.
Yeah.
where all of the people that went to Arcadia or to Alaska
like-
with Claire originally
yeah.
are like basically
Stored.
frozen in
Stasis.
carbonite.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Kmart is there.
Kmart.
Kmart's back,
Yeah. Ugh.
and all the other people that don't matter.
Yeah.
Unnamed people.
And then Wesker shows up.
Yeah.
And they talk a
and-
bit.
They talk a bit. Claire and Chris have
Mhm.
this like fight with Wesker, which is, or no, that's after. Alice goes to confront Wesker
Yeah.
and fights the dogs
Yeah.
that are so gross. Their like
Oh.
entire front half
Yeah,
opens
like in,
up.
like in the 5th game.
Yeah, like in
Yeah.
So their face like splits open like vertically,
Mm-hmm.
and they have like a bunch of teeth that are
Mhm.
long and
Disgusting.
sharp.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
It's gross.
She shoots one in the face
Grody.
with her quarter gun.
Yeah.
The other one, she like kicks a pane of glass at its head.
Oh,
that
that's
was
true.
so cool.
Yeah. So a bunch of glass is like falling, and she like kicks.
Yeah, she like
big
shoots the
sharp
roof
thing of
like a
glass.
chandelier or
Mhm.
something.
That was actually really cool.
That was
it
pretty
was
sick.
really cool. Then
Claire and Chris
Claire
follow
and Chris
Wesker.
fight Wesker.
Yeah.
Wesker hits them.
Demolishes them
He demolishes them.
because he has his like
he, like-
incredible flash powers.
Yeah.
Yeah, he literally
This-
like backhands them into the stasis chambers.
Yeah.
and they
it's pretty funny.
He kicks them into the like cryo
Yeah.
cryo freeze.
freeze.
This fight scene is like a shot-for-shot remake of a scene from Resident Evil 5, which
Mm,
is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
anyway, then in like the dumbest move ever, Wesker goes to try to like eat Alice because basically he also has the virus,
Yeah.
but for him to stay sane, he has to eat fresh meat like a zombie does,
Mhm.
but with human intelligence.
Yeah. So first he ate the dude that flew to the boat.
No, that's later.
Oh yeah, yeah.
After
Because
the initial-
that guy's still.
It's after the initial like
What are you talking about?
because Bennett holds Alice hostage with the two dogs, and then she
Yeah.
kills the dogs,
Yeah.
and then she attacks Wesker, stabs him in the mouth,
Yeah.
and then Bennett is left in there with Wesker, and Wesker eats him.
oh,
and
yeah.
then
yeah.
Alice comes back.
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Sorry.
It's fine.
Yeah. And then Alice comes back and like fights Wesker again.
Yeah, she domes him with the shotgun,
Yeah.
and they like his entire like this is missing. It's actually
yeah, literally
crazy.
like a
Entire
quarter
this.
of his head.
Yeah.
Yes,
gone.
yes.
His
the
entire
entire
this.
A quarter of his head is gone.
Mm.
Oh.
Shot with
and then
the quarters.
and then Chris and Claire walk up and just like mag dump him with
Yeah,
like
just-
Yeah, they shoot like
we thought that was like the Pulp Fiction scene.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you've seen Pulp Fiction, where they just like the guy on the couch, they just
Bam, 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 bam.
mag dump him
Mhm,
with pistols. It was really really cool.
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah.
But then he gets up and leaves.
Yeah, he survived.
He survives. He just like comes back to
Texas.
life
yeah.
and escapes.
He
Gets
tries-
in a
in
ship.
in a ship. He tries to do the thing he did at the opening where he like detonates a singularity, but Alice put the singularity bomb on the plane, which explodes with him inside.
And he gets black holed just like Japan at the beginning.
yes.
Which destroys the entire city of Tokyo
Mm-hmm.
and then blows him up in the ship.
Yep.
Guess what, guys?
Did he survive? Do you think?
He's like freaking what's his face from Five Nights at Freddy's.
William Afton.
He's like William Afton. He always comes
always
back.
comes back.
Literally was
Michael.
blown up by a black hole. And
He's okay.
we'll get to it, but he comes back in the end of the 5th movie.
He's in the 5th movie. I forgot, but he's in the 5th movie because he talks to Ada and Alice
Yeah.
at like.
Oh, that's
halfway through. Yeah.
true.
Anyway,
No, at the beginning. Oh my gosh. Okay, it doesn't even matter. He survives, but he like literally
even
gets
though he
blown
got
up.
singularity,
He gets singularitied.
So okay, so after at the end, like the end of the 4th, because we have to go to the 5th now.
Yeah, we do.
At the
End of the 4th.
The end of the 4th is another one where they end with like the first 10 minutes of
Yeah.
the next
Yeah.
one.
basically like a grillion umbrella helicopters are coming to destroy everyone on
Yeah.
board.
Oh, but this is a post-credit scene.
yeah.
They actually make it a post-credit scene this
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so the
post-credit
movie
scene-
ends. Sorry, the
No,
movie
but-
ends with Alice sending the Arcadia message again,
Right,
Yeah.
saying,
but like
it's
with
actually
renewed
safe.
perspective because it's actually safe this
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And then the movie ends and you're like, oh, that was so beautiful and cool. That's such a nice ending.
A good, satisfying ending, honestly.
The post-credit scene is then a bajillion umbrella ships coming to the boat,
Led by
led by
Jill
Jill
Valentine.
Valentine.
But she's
That's right, guys.
blonde now.
She-
instead of
and she's wearing a
black
skin
hair.
tight purple bluish.
And she has that spider
Yeah,
thing
the
on
spider
her chest.
thing.
that
Yeah,
makes her
the red
evil.
spider thing
She's
that
like,
makes
Jill
her
evil.
Valentine is leading
The umbrella.
the evil people.
yeah,
Yep.
And they
And that's the end.
swarm the boat
yeah,
with all of the prisoners on it.
yeah.
Yep, that's the
Opening
end.
of movie 5.
Opening of
Yep.
movie 5.
All right,
Movie 5.
rating.
Rating? Oh brother.
Oh brother.
Mm.
Oh
this
brother.
Yeah. This one definitely by movie 4, by like hour 5
Mhm.
into the marathon, it's
Mhm.
harder to remember things.
Yeah.
But I thought this one was good though. What do I rate it out of a zombie apocalypse weapon of choice?
I can go first.
Could you?
Okay. My weapon of choice is 80,000 clones of Alice's hand.
Her
Alice's
hand?
fist, but 80,000 times because she was cloned at the beginning. Because the movie just makes me sad that they threw away that plot line
Yeah.
immediately.
Fair.
Mm.
Yeah.
Fair.
Mm.
Okay. I think I would choose the singularity bomb to not only kill all of our beloved clones, but also to attempt to kill Wesker at the end.
Mm.
Yeah, the movie was explosive. It was crazy. A lot of action, a lot of
Right.
things.
Also makes you kind of forget that it is a zombie movie.
Oh,
It does.
100%.
It feels like
This is an
it's just
action
an
movie.
action.
It's
sci-fi
also
Yeah.
kind of funny that they never use that singularity bomb again.
Yeah, it's
Nope.
kind of OP.
Yeah, it's kind
Twice
of
in a movie,
overpowered.
never-
They use it twice and then they
Yeah,
just
and
never
then it's
touch it.
over.
Yeah,
Much
that's my
like
rating.
many of the plot devices of this series.
Yeah, literally.
It's fitting. It's fitting.
Oh, I don't even know what I would give this. I feel like for me, it's like an old reliable because I
Yeah.
watched this
Oh.
movie a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
So like probably a shotgun of sorts. Like
Sawed off.
sawed off shotgun.
Mm,
It's
fair enough, fair enough.
Shotgun?
fun. Yeah, it's fun every time.
Yeah.
It's
The quarter shotgun.
yeah. Let me just use that. The quarter shotgun.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good one.
I think it's like unique enough
Mhm.
by itself. Like
Yeah.
it's really weird, like a quarter shotgun would be.
Yeah,
It's not realistic at all,
like a quarter shotgun.
like a
would
quarter
be.
shotgun, and it's super fun to watch and is
Yeah.
unique.
For sure.
Yeah.
Quarter
Cool.
shotgun. Yeah.
Okay, movie 5.
Movie 5.
Movie 5 was
Movie 5.
probably the coolest one.
It was
Yeah,
so
this one was
cool.
absolutely
This one
amazing.
was
The
the
cast-
sickest one.
Oh
cast,
my gosh.
They bring back like all of the cool characters and then also one of the coolest characters, two of the coolest characters from the video games.
Yeah.
I didn't know them.
Loser.
But Jöel and Owen were like fangirling
Yeah.
for the whole movie because they bring in
Ada Wong.
Ada Wong.
yeah.
And
Leon S. Kennedy.
Yeah, and the
Oh
one other
my
guy.
and Barry Burton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
know
He's
him,
he's
to be
cool, but he's lesser known. He's
Oh,
from Resident
okay.
Evil 1 and Revelations 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, doesn't matter. So this movie opens with
And Luther is back.
Luther's also back for
Man,
this one.
Luther.
So this movie opens
Mm.
with it's actually kind of sick the way that they open this movie, because they open with the umbrella ships massacring all of the innocent
Yeah.
civilians
Yeah.
that were on the
Yeah.
boat, but they do it in reverse.
Mhm.
So
Oh,
like
right.
so like it ends
Yeah.
it
Oh, yeah.
begins with like Alice jumping into the water but in reverse, and then goes through
Yeah.
the entire like ships
So
coming
you're
in
seeing,
reverse.
Yeah.
like bullets fly out of people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They go
it's
all the way
cool.
back until like
Yeah.
the moment at the end of the post-credit scene when Jill is like revealed to be the villain.
Yeah.
And then they do the
They
like
play it again.
my name is April Valentine thing.
April. Oh yeah.
You got that
Oh,
wrong
my
on
name is Alice.
So many
He
levels.
kept calling her
Sorry.
April.
He
the
just
whole
called her
time.
April Valentine.
Alice. What is her last
Oh
name?
my
No.
gosh. She doesn't have a last
No.
name.
Alice.
No.
Her last name is
Umbrella.
Alice, first name Project.
Project Alice.
Also, sorry, this is a side
April.
thing, but movie 1, they like never tell you her name.
Yeah, they say it twice in
Her
the
name
whole
is
movie.
like
They say it, like,
completely
twice.
unclear for most of
She's
the first movie.
protagonist from
The
Tenet.
the protagonist TM from Tenet. But yeah, it
Yeah,
starts
so
with
they
the,
so
"My
they
name
do
is
that reverse
Alice.
thing.
Umbrella, apocalypse.
And this is the one with all the weird like
everyone's dead.
boxes, like all little like scenes from all the
Yeah,
movies.
from all the movies.
Yeah.
6 does that too,
Six
but
of that
yeah.
too.
Mhm.
6 looks better.
And then
Mm-hmm.
after we get that intro thing, we just watch the entire reversed thing again, but
Yeah.
forwards.
yeah.
I honestly
And then
think
It was
Alice
cool.
gets captured and we see her naked in a room again.
yeah, it's
It's-
actually sorry, Regan.
No, I was just gonna say in some big like prison room with like all these lights.
Yeah.
Really
White,
interesting.
all
Yeah.
white.
Yeah,
White
she's
lights.
she's in the same outfit as she is in the beginning of 2,
With
but
the
without
napkins.
all the needles.
Yeah.
Um,
But she's just kind of like
the napkin.
laying, doing
Yeah,
the like Family
and-
Guy death pose on the floor of this place.
Yeah. Jill interrogates her, but to me the comedic value of this interrogation is so high because she's like, "Who do you work for?" And I'm sitting there like, "Who is there to work for?"
Yeah.
Everyone's
The
dead.
world is
The world is
over.
over.
Yeah, Alice just says, but the other thing is that Alice, no, not Alice. April, no, not April.
There's no one
Jill?
called April.
Jill?
Sorry,
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
getting. Doesn't matter. That Jill asks Alice like one question,
Yeah.
and then Alice is like, "What do you mean?" And then Jill just like shocks her, like literally knocks
No,
her
it's
out.
like the weird noise.
Oh
thing.
yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like
No,
a
it's like
noise
a
thing. Either way, knocks
high-pitched-
Alice out, and
Yeah.
then she wakes up, and Jill is like, "Who do you work for?" And Alice is like, "Stop!" And then the screaming again, and
Yeah.
Alice gets knocked out again, and this happens like
They
4
do it a ton
times.
of times.
Then she like wakes up again, and the sound just plays.
They just torture
It's so
her.
funny.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're just
so
torturing her for no
And then
reason.
like the entire facility malfunctions, and the wall opens up,
and it just supplies her like a leather corset for
with
her
a
to
leather
wear.
Full
boots,
outfit.
black leather boots, and a black
Yeah.
leather corset.
And then you see her just kind of like walk out of this.
Just
Like,
leave.
it's the most
Yeah.
confusing way to
It's
open a
so
movie because
weird.
none of it
Yeah.
makes sense.
but it's
Like she just
pretty cool.
she just walks out,
yeah,
and then
A
she
full
walks out,
outfit.
and then she walks out, and we
into
see
Tokyo.
into Tokyo. We see the opening to the last movie once again is
Mhm.
replayed.
but
Yeah.
she's like in the middle of it now.
She's like-
Yeah.
watching it.
She's in the
It's like
middle
people
of
with
it.
the umbrellas, and then the random girl with no umbrella.
Yes.
Who's a
And
zombie?
she
Who's a zombie.
eats someone.
Yeah.
I just realized they get like scanned in like holograms, but they're like physical
Yeah,
because she
Yeah.
fights them right after.
Yeah. yeah.
How
Doesn't
did
matter.
they-
Not
how'd
real.
They get,
Doesn't matter.
how'd they get instant
I don't
transmission?
think we need to.
That
Anyway,
I'm not
this
a
is the
scientist.
coolest. I think this is the
Yeah.
coolest fight scene in the entire series.
Oh, it is. It's the
so
coolest
cool.
one.
Like the opening to 4 is really good, but in terms of fight choreography and creativity,
It's the fit. This one's
this
sick.
one is so cool.
Yeah, because she fights them in like
This
another one of those
long
white hallways.
hallway.
she just
Yeah.
massacres like
Yeah.
60 zombies, and it's just like
And the way she does it is so cool.
yeah.
Oh,
And what's cool about it
so
too is that
cool.
I feel like in a lot of the earlier movies, the fight scenes, like we were talking about how the camera,
Yeah.
like it kept cutting throughout the fight scene, so you don't and it's very zoomed in, so you don't like really see what's going on, which is obviously just a technique to kind of like mask the fakeness of it.
Yeah.
But in this movie, the fight scenes are so clear. Like you see the full shot. There's way less cuts.
Mhm.
It's way like the choreography for it is so nice, and you see.
From like
It's so
a
cool.
filmmaking's perspective, we should have talked about this in the last episode, but the first 3 movies are kind of hard to watch because they do so much cutting.
There's a lot
Yeah.
of
For every
editing.
fight scene, all the edits are just whack and you can barely tell what's happening in half of them.
Yeah.
And then in the 5th movie, that's just solved. Like the 4th
Yeah.
one's pretty good too.
Yeah.
The 4th and 5th movies are just like solved. Like the filmmaking is perfect. You can tell
Yeah.
everything that's happening. The fighting is like perfectly clear. And then that scene where she
Oh
fights all the
my
zombies is like
gosh.
literally the coolest thing you watch in like all 6
it's
movies.
so cool. She has like a morning star
Yeah.
and then like a gun
Yeah.
and it's
It's so
cool.
sick.
It's so
And
fun
then
to watch.
so she kills all the zombies and then she ends up in
She
like the
steps
control
on one with her
room.
heel and snaps its neck.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
pretty
gosh.
sick.
Yeah.
So then she goes through the hallway. She ends up in the control room for this underground base,
Mhm.
and she learns that she's like in some base in like Russia. She's like
yeah.
underwater. The base is underwater,
Yeah.
under like a
Really trippy.
glacier
Yeah.
ice,
This
which is so
Frozen over.
cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
It's so
This
cool.
is where like remember in the first movie when we were talking about like the like holograms of the bases?
Yeah,
This one looks so
Yeah, so
good.
this
Yeah.
one looks really good. Yeah.
It's the best
Yeah.
looking one in the
Prob-
series.
I would
Yeah.
say so.
Does the
And-
6th one beat it? I don't remember.
this
roughly
one's
the
the best
Yeah,
one.
this one's
the
really
best
good.
one. So they do. Essentially, like we said, Umbrella ultimately is just big pharma, right? So they're doing like biological testing.
Yep.
And this is the one where they essentially this is where they sell all of their stuff because they just
Mhm.
build replicas of like major cities. So they
But
built
Yeah.
other cities.
they built like a replica of Tokyo, and then they go through this list of people where they just like we
It's
needed
crazy.
to sell to the Americans, so we just built a replica
Of Moscow.
of Moscow and then massacred them with our bioweapons and then sold
Yeah.
it to the US. And then we needed to sell to Moscow, so we just built a replica of New York and showed them the bioweapons, and then we
I know,
sold
like-
it to Moscow.
Yeah, and then like
China and Japan.
They did China and
Alice
Japan.
like finishes her sentence and she's like, "So you sold it to China so you could show them how they killed Japan,
Yeah.
and then to Japan so you could show them how to kill China."
Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It's crazy.
So they
This
have
is-
they have like it's very like Cold War
Yeah.
type thing where they like make simulations of like enemy cities,
Yeah.
states,
This is
and run simulations and kill people. But it's like all these clones that they just have running through the simulation,
Yeah.
and that's what that scene with the people with the umbrellas was.
mhm.
We didn't talk about the scene with like suburban.
We'll get there.
Alice.
We'll get there.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Okay, anyway.
That's in that. Yeah. That is in
Yeah,
that
yeah.
movie.
We'll get there.
Ada shows up. Ada Wong.
Ada Wong, famous
And
character from the
Famous
Resident Evil games.
character.
From the
My
games.
Oh, my
favorite character.
She's so cool.
Other than
She's
Leon.
so cool.
And when she fights Alice, the scene where Ada first meets Leon in Resident Evil 4, they do that like shot for shot.
Like the game.
Wait,
Yeah.
in 4?
Yeah, in
Yeah,
4.
okay.
It's the scene from 4. They first meet in 2, but like
Yeah.
it's the scene from 4 where she like kicks his gun in the air and she pulls out his knife. And I
then
think
they,
they
like-
say the
yeah.
exact same dialogue
Because I think
too.
she says like, oh yeah, what does she say? She says something like,
A knife is much better for up close.
yeah, and then he has like a gun at her hip
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Really
Yeah. It's really
Yeah,
cool.
and then she learns that Wesker was the one that broke her out of the cell because he wants to work with her now to
Yeah.
shut down Umbrella because he's a
And
good guy now.
there's no question
He's like low key
about
he's just all of a
Wesker's
sudden a chill
aliveness.
Yeah, he's
No
literally
question
just
it.
alive again. And we also learn that this base is run by none other than the Red Queen.
Be the Red
Be
Queen.
the Red Queen from the
I just-
Hive.
all the way
I just
back.
realized we skipped the White Queen.
She doesn't matter.
She doesn't matter at
She doesn't
all.
matter.
Not really.
Why is she an actual little girl and then they just made the Red Queen AI?
Nah, she doesn't matter. We don't even need to talk
anyway,
about her.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
She
Red
does-
Queen is back.
Irrelevant.
The Red
Il est
Queen,
vivant.
the Red Queen is back from the first movie.
But she looks
Better.
Like the AI is you can actually it doesn't look weird and creepy at all.
Yeah.
No, in the fifth one, it still looks whack. They fix it in the
Compared to
Well, it
sixth
looks
one, right?
better, but it's
It
still
looks better.
whack.
Yeah,
The
okay.
sixth one looks good.
Yeah. So the fifth, yeah. So they're fighting. they're essentially the Red Queen is after her because she wasn't supposed to be let out. Wesker let her out. So
Mhm.
now Jill Valentine and all of her lackeys
are also hunting.
are also hunting her, who are
Yeah.
all clones of people we've seen in the past.
Yeah.
So
Every
weird.
single person that they use in these biological testing facilities in like the replica of New York, the replica of Moscow, they're all clones of like somehow they're all
Like
clones of
50
people that we've
people.
seen.
Yeah, so like Michelle Rodriguez is back.
Yeah, Rain.
But
Carlos.
Rain, but as an Umbrella
Carlos.
agent, and Carlos is back as an Umbrella agent.
Yeah. And they're
And
all
so
just
is
like
the black guy from the first one who gets
Oh, yeah, who gets
checkerboarded.
Checkerboarded.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
he's back as
awful.
well.
yeah,
so-
so all the clone thing that we had ended in the last movie
Yeah.
once again is
Mhm.
back.
Is back.
Yeah.
But we should talk about that suburban scene
Mhm.
Yeah.
now.
I don't know when this happens.
But they cut to
They-
is it
they cut
before
to-
the my name is Alice?
It might
Or is
be.
it
I think
right
it might
after?
Might be after.
doesn't matter.
Anyways, we see Alice with a completely new hairstyle. She has like bangs
Yeah.
and it's kind of like blonde now. or, like,
Yeah,
anyway,
it's
she has
kind of like
highlights.
the first movie hairstyle, but
Yeah,
longer.
exactly.
Mhm.
And she's in this house with her loving husband and daughter.
Carlos.
Carlos.
But her husband is
Her
Carlos. So right
deaf
away you're
daughter.
like, yo.
Which
what?
they had a dynamic in the third one. They kissed,
Yeah, they kissed in the third one. Right.
and so it feels fitting here.
So you're kind of like, oh, what is this like alternate? Is this a dream?
Reality, yeah,
What is this?
They
And
have
the
a-
daughter.
yeah. Who's deaf, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yep.
I don't think do we. Yeah, yeah.
She
we
must
know
be
that.
deaf
Yep,
because
yep,
she
yep.
does sign.
I know she's deaf.
She's
like,
deaf.
when she comes back later.
Yeah,
but
so
I
she
just-
must. I
yeah.
think she's deaf.
Well, no,
initially.
she's definitely deaf because this scene at the beginning is like it's the same girl from the one that
Mhm.
shows up
Right.
later.
Yeah,
So they have a deaf daughter.
yeah.
And what?
Zombies just attack.
Zombies just start
randomly.
attacking. They just randomly get like infiltrated by
Yeah,
zombies. in their
Carlos gets
home.
ate
Carlos
instantly.
dies right away.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
she takes her daughter upstairs to their room and kind of like hide and whatnot. And then
Yeah, her daughter hides and she leaves.
she leaves her daughter in the closet and goes to fight the zombies and
Mhm.
dies.
Yeah, but they
Alice
don't tell you
dies.
that.
And now, yeah, but
Or is it? Does
No,
she die?
no,
in
she
this
dies
movie?
on screen.
Straight
She
up
dies
says-
Oh,
on
does
screen.
she?
yeah.
Okay,
maybe not. I don't know.
I can't remember.
I
I,
can't
believe
remember.
this guy,
Oh,
I don't think she
no,
does.
because she
Her
pushes the
office-
zombie off the banister. Remember,
which was
Wait,
crazy.
Which was
that one-
crazy.
yeah, that one. Dies.
zombie like chases her upstairs and then she pushes him like over the
Down
railing
2 floors.
and he falls and like
onto the railing kind of thing.
yeah,
like,
and
gets
it
stabbed,
breaks
yeah.
and gets
But
stabbed.
we
Yeah.
see her dead after. So
Yeah, so
maybe
she
it
does
isn't-
die.
Yeah, she does die.
And
Yeah.
Maybe a cusp
in the
before.
like process of them fleeing, they meet another Rain,
yeah,
Mhm.
who's like an environmentalist.
she's like
Yeah.
anti-gun,
Yeah,
which is so
she's-
funny because Rain is obviously like super.
Yeah, it's
like,
it's it's a clever little
Yeah,
twist on the
yeah.
character. That's fun.
yeah,
And we see
Anyway.
her smile.
Yeah,
we
she
do.
smiles
Rain
a
smile
lot.
a lot. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
She's
So
like, I marched against the NRA
yeah.
or with. I
Yeah.
guess? I don't know.
so cut
Yeah.
back to
I can't remember.
our real Alice.
Yeah. Oh, Wesker says that he sent a team to rendezvous with them on the surface.
Yeah. So
And
there's
the
a
team
surface
is
team. Leon.
Luther, Leon, Barry,
Leon with his
and
amazing
2
jacket from
filler
the forum.
characters.
Yeah, nameless characters who have to die for sake of cinema.
Yep. And they're
So-
essentially they're there to save out
Yeah.
Alice.
Alice. Jill?
April.
April,
April Valentine.
April Valentine.
They're there to
Secret
save
character.
Alice and then make it out of the base and
Yeah.
blow up the base.
Yep.
So yeah. Then there's there's a cool scene where they go through the Moscow simulation and the zombies
Yeah.
are like
They have like those typical like Russian hats. that-
yeah,
Yeah.
and they can all
Really sick.
operate guns and
Yeah,
vehicles
they're like
Yeah,
the
they're
zombies
cool.
from 5 and
Yeah, they're
6.
kind of like
from the games
Yeah.
5 and 6.
domesticated.
Yeah, so they're like
Domestic.
that scene was sick, and that's where like 2 of the unnamed characters die.
Yeah, they also
Yeah.
encounter a massive liquor.
Yeah.
Like he's
Oh,
like
yeah.
military vehicle size. It's
Yeah.
actually
Enormous.
crazy.
The liquor.
Yeah,
Yep. So then Alice goes to the like suburban town
with Ada.
and with Ada and sees her dead self. This is the second
Which-
time Alice has looked at a clone of her be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, brutal.
Brutal. And she goes upstairs and in the closet where the suburban Alice left her daughter, they do like a super suspenseful. They try to jump scare you with like a zombie that
Yeah.
jumps out
Yeah,
of the
so you think it's
That
the
one
closet.
actually kind
Did it
of
get
got
you?
me. It didn't scare me, but I was like, oh,
yeah,
it's
because
not
you
the
expect
daughter.
it to be the daughter.
Yeah,
That's one thing we kind of didn't talk about because these are like horror movies.
yeah,
Well,
no,
some of them try to be.
yeah,
Then they kind of they it's like they don't know. they don't know their own identity. Is it a horror movie? Is it a thriller? Is it a action movie?
Literally just the
We're not sure.
yeah.
But there
like
there
Resident
are
Evil
a
6,
lot
the
of there are
game.
many jump scare attempts, and none of them worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least not on me.
No, not
Yeah.
me. No.
No.
They're surprising, but
anyways.
they're not scary.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
she kills that zombie, turns around, finds her daughter, and then the
Which
daughter
is
just kind
super
of
weird for her.
which
Yeah.
is very weird for her. And then
Yeah.
she
Her
just
daughter's
kind of
like, why do
tags
you look
along.
different? Why is your hair different? Because she obviously looks
Mommy.
different than her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she takes her daughter, and then they get attacked
Mommy.
by a SWAT force of more clones of their past friends. So their past
Mhm.
friends tried to kill
Mhm.
them. Ada Wong
With Jill.
Ada Wong pulls a little move to like help Alice leave.
Yeah, she
And
gives her
then-
her grappling hook gun
Yeah,
from
gives her-
RE4.
yeah, the classic. And then, well, it cuts to Alice escaping, but basically Ada Wong gets captured.
Yeah.
But we see
The
her
scene is
later.
so cool though. She like
Remember where she breaks through the floor?
yeah, she like shoots the floor a ton and then like
Yeah.
breaks it and goes down into
Mhm.
it.
And then they blow
While,
up the
like
house.
the entire house explodes on top of her. It's so cool.
It is really cool. Yeah, this one, the action is one was on point.
It's
Yeah.
so good.
Alice escapes. She meets up with the ground team.
No, she meets
She
well,
meets up with
yes.
Rain.
She
No.
meets up with
Meets up
Rain
Rain in the train
yeah,
station.
in the
Oh,
train
yeah, that's
station
true.
and gives her a gun.
Yep.
It's like it's just like shooting with a camera, taking
Just
a
pull
picture.
the
That's,
trigger.
yeah, that's when
Just pull the trigger and shoot.
this
She's like
version of Rain is like anti-gun.
yeah,
where
but
she-
she's like surprisingly not resistant to just starting to shoot the gun.
well, I think she understands what's at stake.
the stakes, yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
And then she goes, and then Alice goes and meets with the ground team.
Yes.
And then they come back
Yeah.
to the train station. They find
And-
Rain and her daughter.
Yeah. And
And
they
then-
go they find like
Oh,
the
Rain-
clone room, don't they? Or is
Yeah.
that
No.
after this?
yeah, because that's where
They get in the train thing because they got to go find the elevator back up to the surface.
Okay.
So they get in the like train
You
thing.
got it. You can do it.
The train thing, like the subway, the underground bit, and then they follow that and they get chased by the liquor,
Okay.
and then
Yeah,
they
the giant
end
Wait,
up
there's
in the
that
clone room.
super cool driving
Yes,
scene in
thank
Moscow.
you.
That is not a subway at all.
No, that was
when they're,
hours
like,
ago. That was tens of minutes ago that they were in
Tens
the
of
Moscow
minutes.
scene. The Moscow. Shut
when
up.
does the giant liquor
this is-
steal the daughter?
That's later.
Yeah, we
so
haven't
like
gotten there yet.
yeah, because like Alice is driving the SUV in Moscow.
Yeah,
isn't
that's when
she?
they meet
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, okay.
And then the liquor chases them, and then they go
That
to the
scene
train
is
station.
Really cool. Right. Yeah, they
Yeah.
like drive down the
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about
Okay.
now.
And then they're in the
You
train
just
station,
described it.
and they start journeying.
That was a horror movie in and of itself.
They start journeying to the
Journeying.
elevator. They find the elevator,
yeah.
and then Jill
Little
shows up.
baby girl gets snatched.
Jill shows up, goes pew pew pew
by
pew,
Licky.
and then the liquor shows up and steals her daughter.
No, because what about this? The scene where they find all the clones.
Yeah, that's after. I'm getting there. The liquor steals her daughter, and
Yeah.
all of the ground team is like, "Hey, Alice, we have to take the
April!"
ele-" Shut up.
You almost said it again.
Alice, we have to take the elevator and get out before we blow up or something. And then Alice is like, I need my daughter. Shut up. And then she goes and saves her daughter. And then the
With the
liquor
grappling hook.
with the grappling hook,
Oh,
and the liquor chases her and her daughter to the clone room.
Oh, which I have to say is like actually such a conceptually disturbing room.
It's
Like,
like
they're
it's like
just-
a factory of
Yeah, like
It's like
they're-
the Matrix.
they're just like cycling through on like hooks.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
they're
the
just hanging.
it's like this. It reminds
really
me
creepy.
of the scene from Monsters Inc. with the doors when they go to the.
it looks like the
you're
doors on the
right.
thing,
Yes.
totally.
But they're people.
But they're people.
and it's like them.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
like
literally
her and her
Alice.
daughter, and
Yeah.
the daughter's like, "Who are they, mommy?"
And she's like crying,
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah,
traumatizing.
yeah, really cool concept
Really
that
cool
could be
concept.
used
Low-key,
really well in
they
another
should've-
movie. I think.
Yeah, a whole like plot or like movie about that would be.
Would be
Yeah.
They
sick.
kind of just like dabble. in
yeah.
that. touch
They
it.
dabble in so many things in
They
these
dip their
movies
toes
that are
in
so
many different
cool.
like cool
Yeah.
storylines.
Yeah.
And dip and just not.
Yeah.
not
Um,
love it.
The liquor chases them. Do they blow it up?
Yeah, they fight. I don't know. They kill the liquor in the clone room, right?
Oh yeah, with the convenient explosives from another guy that was in
Yeah.
a cocoon.
Oh,
And then because they blow up the clone room, the entire facility starts to flood. Is that how that happens?
No, the entire facility starts to flood because they took so
because
long.
the 2 hours is up.
And
yeah,
the 2
so
hours
it
is up,
starts-
and then the bombs just go off.
yeah.
And then
So then they're
everything
trying to leave.
explodes. They're
And-
trying to leave. Jill is trying to stop them.
Yeah. Oh, in the liquor fight, Eco Lady Rain got her neck snapped. Pretty unceremoniously, honestly.
Yeah, a little bit.
Does it? Oh yeah, she just gets like hit into a brick wall,
And
and it was
just
like, boom, or like not, just like a single wall, and then her neck like hits it, and then they're like, oh well, she's dead. and then they just move on. It's so
Yeah.
They
it's
kill
pretty
people
funny.
so
yes,
callously.
yeah.
Okay, so
Carlos also dies in the scene. So does Barry.
Yeah,
And
Barry
the-
has a cool death.
He does have a really cool death.
Yeah, because he like gets shot, dies,
He gets up.
comes
gets
back,
up,
shoots a guy, and then
and
gets shot and
dies.
dies
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Because he gets shot and like throws his gun up in the air,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
falls down his back, and then catches the gun, and
Yeah,
that was
it's
really
Yeah.
pretty
So
cool.
then last minute, as the facility is flooding because the bomb went off,
yeah,
Leon and Luther jump onto the elevator thing, and then the water like shoots them up to the surface,
Mhm.
and that's where they find Alice and the daughter are
Yeah,
just, like
and
crawling
they're
through
yeah.
the vents or something and end up
Yeah.
on the elevator. They're all okay. So then they get on their little ice zoomy
Yeah.
car thing, and they're trying to escape when a sub
Little
shut up
amphibious. Ice zoomy,
and then a submarine just like shoots itself through the
Yeah.
ice and makes their car thingy
Transport
roll.
tip over. Yeah.
Yeah, transport tip
Yeah.
over. They
Whatever
all
it
crawl
is.
out, and then the rain,
The
The
evil
SWAT
Rain
the evil rain, the
Yeah,
SWAT
comes
evil
out.
rain
with evil Jill,
with Jill
and
Jill.
Ada as a hostage.
and Ada hostage. They like knock out Ada right off the
Yeah.
hop. Do
And
they
then-
kill Ada? No, they don't
No.
kill Ada.
No.
And
They
then
knock out Ada.
Rain injects herself with a Las Plagas parasite,
Yeah, which,
which
makes her like
super strong,
super man.
dummy
strong.
strong, dummy durable.
dummy.
Yeah,
Dummy strong, dummy.
like literally unstoppable.
Yeah, she gets
The heck?
shot with bullets, and the bullets like she like pushes them out
Yeah.
through her
Oh,
fingertips.
Yeah.
my
which
God,
was,
that was
gross.
crazy.
Grody.
I
Like,
Like,
hated
you see
that.
the bullets going from where she got shot in like the
Ah.
chest all the way down her arm and out her fingers.
It's
It's
so gross.
disgusting.
I hate
was-
it so
was
much.
Cool though.
Yeah, it was cool
Um,
though.
And then this is another one of the best choreographed fight scenes
Yeah,
in
really,
the
really
entire
cool fight
series.
scene.
Yeah, for the first
um,
time ever, Alice gets kind of bodied by
she
Jill
gets-
Valentine.
Alice is getting
Bodied.
her like yeah.
She gets
like-
kicked.
Yeah, she's it's actually crazy. She gets kicked by Jill so hard, she hits like a wall and her body legit folds.
literally,
like
like,
it's
crumbles.
Yeah.
crazy.
This is also
Yeah.
another scene where they just kill people off
Yeah.
unceremoniously
Yeah.
because
So
Rain,
Luther
Rain just Rain
punches Luther in the heart.
in
and it
in the
it
center of the
switches
rib
to an
cage.
X-ray shot
Yeah.
of his heart
just
beating
stopping.
and then just stopping.
Yeah, and
then
he
he just
dies.
dies.
And he just dies, and that's
Yeah,
it.
and
That's
then
all you see of
Leon-
Luther.
And then that
Gets knocked
happens
out
to
too.
Alice like
Yeah,
later
like
on, but
seconds later.
she's a little bit tougher than Luther. So her heart stops.
she's okay.
And then
And then it
she
keeps
comes back.
going.
yeah,
But
Show.
yeah, the fight scene between Alice and Jill is really,
Really
cool.
cool.
yeah.
Alice has like 2 ice picks.
yeah.
And Jill has like
A
this
spear?
staff,
Yeah,
kinda thing
with like spikes.
in the end.
Yeah, yeah.
and it like barely like it's really really
Yeah,
cool.
Alice gets dominated in
Yeah,
this.
She
It's
does. She
Actually
actually
crazy.
does.
Yeah,
And then, but she manages to get the upper hand by like.
Well, she
Jill-
doesn't. Jill is like choking her out, and then she
Yeah.
manages to pull off the red spider thing.
Yeah, that's
and
how
like
she,
toss it, and then
Jill
shoot
falls
it.
down, and she,
Yeah,
she goes to
shoots
do
the
a
spider thing.
seizure, and she's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Alice goes and fights Rain. Basically,
and
gets killed
Leon
by Rain.
Kennedy, our boy Leon, has been like overwhelmed. He doesn't die though in this
Yeah,
fight.
he's
Yeah, he
just-
just gets
just
kind
gets,
of
like,
backhand and
yeah.
thrown against the like submarine
Yeah.
or whatever.
Ada also is just
Gone.
Ada also just doesn't kind of
Elsewhere.
exist in this fight.
Yeah.
And the way that Alice kills the like
Rain.
SWAT Rain
Oh, it's
is she like
so
shoots
cool.
Oh my-
shoots like
yeah.
a circle around.
She
Makes
sees
like
that
a
there's
fish, like an ice fishing hole around.
yeah,
her.
Yeah.
She falls into the water.
and then all
And
the zombies.
So the facility underneath the ice, the underwater facility, exploded, right?
yeah,
And so all of those zombies are like swimming up,
yeah,
and so they're like swimming up, and they're like piranhas, and she's like a bit of flesh that's just got thrown in
Yeah.
the water, and they're like grabbing at her. And then Owen, describe this scene because you
yeah.
you
It's
loved
I thought
it.
it was a really pretty scene. It's like,
yeah.
has anyone seen Marvel's What If?
No.
No,
If you
I've
have
not.
the scene from like the episode where it's just Hawkeye and Black Widow left in like the Ultron world, when Hawkeye is like falling into the pit of all the Ultrons, like reaching up to grab him with the last arrow that like explodes the entire base. It's kind of like that, where she's like at the top and all these zombies are like
Yeah.
swimming up to
Yeah.
grab her.
The shot
And
is
it's, like,
sick.
underwater.
It's so
And
cool.
there's the contrast of like the blue and then like the kind of bright
Yeah.
light at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
super
my goodness.
cool.
It's really
So
well
then,
done.
but then she like swims, she resurfaces,
Mhm.
and then like I think she says something or like
Yeah.
whatever, and then
Yeah.
she's like grabbing, and then they all just like grab her, and it's like really really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that's basically the end of the fifth
yeah,
movie.
Jill is chilling now. No, they have
No.
the-
Then they do the next where it's
Yeah,
the
they
next the
foreshadow the
10
next
minutes of
one.
the next
Oh,
movie.
Yeah. And basically Wesker recruits them all
Yeah,
at the
the,
White
like,
House in
All
Washington.
of the coolest people, Ada, Leon, Jill, Alice, and Wesker are all fighting together now.
and because
And-
it's all,
And her daughter,
all the
I
remaining
guess.
humans ever.
Yeah,
are-
Yeah,
all the
or
remaining
apparently
at the White House.
They're it.
and it's
And
like
then they like
that's it.
they zoom out
They zoom out, and it's just
and there's like
flying zombies.
millions of zombies.
Yeah,
Like you thought the cloud around the thing
prison, the fence
in
base.
4, yeah,
in
in 3,
3.
and then the prison in 4 was a
Yeah.
lot. This is like crazy.
Like,
and yeah,
yeah.
there's like
The whole
flying
world is going-
zombies
yeah.
and like oh my gosh. It
It's
actually
wild.
looks so
Yeah.
hype.
It
does look
actually
sweet.
does. It's
Um,
so
And then-
cool.
so that's the end.
And then that's
yeah,
the end.
That's the end.
All right, so reviews,
rating.
ratings.
This movie is a magnum.
Yeah, this movie's
This
Oh,
It's
the
sleek.
Magnum. Yeah.
It's sexy.
yeah. And it packs a punch.
And it
packs a punch.
Just like Alice's leather corset.
that she gets given to her in prison,
Yeah.
in her cell, after a technical malfunction.
Also, that was an interrogation room. What was that outfit for?
No, it doesn't matter.
Who?
Yeah, that's a good question.
For.
Anyways,
My
Yeah,
answer.
So hold on.
Freak
We
Bob.
talked about this and we said we were going to talk about it, but we never actually talk about it.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's okay. The director is the main character's like the actress.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
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 And she's repeatedly
Just naked.
just like in these weird,
Yeah.
like unnecessarily
compromising
compromising
positions.
shots, positions,
Yeah.
outfits, and the whole time we're just like, this is
Yeah,
this guy,
what
this
I-
guy's like trying to see his wife.
Yeah. What I
It's
do
just kinda
find
weird.
interesting though is like, I mean, we said it while we were watching it. Every time she gets like beat up, it's not like gratuitous. She
Mhm.
doesn't
Yeah.
like make any freaky deaky sounds.
Yeah, like in a lot of
Yeah.
these movies, when the women get like hit, they make weird like moaning sounds.
Yeah, 'cause
They don't do that in
gets
this movie.
Yeah.
beat up a lot.
Thanks
she
the
gets
Lord.
beat up a lot. She
Yeah.
gets caught in explosions a lot.
Yeah.
But like,
It's not a Tomb Raider
she's-
situation.
yeah, like
Yeah.
the director will put her in weird compromising positions, but she's also like one of the coolest action
Yeah.
heroes
Yeah.
ever.
And one of the
Totally.
yeah.
So like it is weird, but I
Yeah.
feel like in a weird roundabout way, it's also
Super chill.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alice is so
Anyways,
cool.
we just wanted to mention that. 'cause,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It
It
felt
is
like
odd.
it felt like every single start and like end of the of these
Mhm.
movies, she was like in a weird compromising position.
Mhm.
Which
Yeah.
is like we wouldn't have really noticed if it was like one movie.
Yeah.
it was, like,
When it's
all
like
of them.
all of them. It's like what?
There's like
Anyways.
in every single one of the movies, there's at least one scene where she just like ends up like naked on the floor somewhere.
Yeah.
Which is just weird for her husband to have done to her
Yeah,
as an
it
actor.
is.
Yeah.
I kind
But-
of wonder about like her place in it
Yeah.
because she does all these movies and they still do movies together. Like
Yeah.
she's the lead in a lot of his movies,
Yeah.
and they're all cool. She's
I mean,
always
cool. She's an
Yeah, I
actor.
don't
I mean, I
know.
guess that's what you do. Like it's a
Yeah.
job. It's the
Maybe-
role.
Maybe she likes it.
Maybe maybe that's
Maybe
why they
she's a
work so
freak
well.
bob
Maybe
too.
that's how they met. Anyways, let's go.
Maybe that's how they met.
So the last movie.
No, we have to rate this.
rating,
We have to rate this.
rating.
So you said a Magnum.
Yeah, I said a
Did you
Magnum.
say-
Nah, you
Okay.
got
Sleek,
I'll
sexy,
go-
and
I'll go
packs
last,
a
I'll go last.
punch.
Sleek, sexy, packs a punch. Man, I gotta say like probably a rocket launcher, like an
Ooh.
RPG, but specifically one you'd get like at the end of a Resident Evil game or like towards the end of a Resident Evil
Ooh.
game, because like it just one shots everything. Just kind of like this movie.
Sorry.
Okay. This movie kind of just like all the other ones are like pretty good, but this one's just like crazy good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so my
I know what you're gonna say.
my weapon of choice for this one is from the end of the third game. I don't know actually what the acronym stands for, but it's called the Finger.
Kid named
It's a gun.
The ER stands for experimental railgun.
Yeah, so
I
it's
know
just
that
a big
much.
rail gun, but it like massacres, because at the end of the third game you fight this like, well, you fight Nemesis, but at this point Nemesis has turned into like,
He's like a flesh flower.
he's like a flesh flower, but he's like,
I'm serious.
he
It's actually
feels
so
like
gross.
he feels like an entire like warehouse of just like him,
Mhm.
and you shoot him with this huge gun like 18 times, but it's like the craziest gun of all time.
Twice.
Oh, okay. You actually only shoot him twice. Doesn't really matter.
But it does so
But
much
it's like the
damage.
craziest weapon I've ever seen, and it's called the Finger, which is just
Yeah.
funny to me. You finger him at the end. Anyway, so the last movie. the last movie does the thing that the
Ethan?
Ethan
No.
Garrett. No.
Garrett? No.
the last movie does the
six.
thing that a lot of the other movies do, where it just kind of
Oh.
retcons everything that
Movie
everything
six-
else
movie
I
does.
six
wanted
is a
to
different-
cry at the beginning of this movie.
Because
Movie
they
six
set
was
up-
made by Sony. Right?
Yeah.
It was bought by Sony.
the cinematography, like,
Horrible.
It's
like
different.
the quality of the camera shots
Okay,
is
yeah.
really high.
Yeah.
The actual
It's
like
gritty. It's a lot more of a gritty movie. Like everything's
So,
kind of like darker.
Essentially,
Mhm.
everything except the end of this movie doesn't matter. I hate it.
yeah, the second half is fun.
Yeah.
The first,
Also,
As
at
soon
this
as-
point, it was like 11 p.m.
When we
were
at the end of
watching
the
it,
marathon.
Yeah. As soon
Okay.
as the secondary characters die, it's a fun movie.
yeah.
But everything before that is
So
not very
essentially, the beginning of this movie, everything that we thought was going to be so sick about it, where like Jill and Leon and Ada and Wesker were all going to like fight together. None of them exist.
They all
Jill,
good.
die
They
off
all
screen.
got killed
all
off
of them
screen.
like die off screen.
Leon S. Kennedy, my dog, my
Your
absolute
dog.
home brother. Okay,
He's dead.
gone.
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 All that remains,
What?
all that remains is Wesker
Alice.
and Alice.
Yeah.
Alyssa. Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
and then
it's-
they do a bunch of action stuff, but they're back to like the first three movies
yeah,
where it's like they do all kinds of weird cutting and none
That
of it. You
looks
can't tell at
terrible.
all what's
Yeah, it's-
happening.
Yeah.
But it's
so
worse than the
fast-paced
first three.
yeah, it's terrible.
It's like,
it's so bad.
ugh.
And you can tell, like, watching the scene and trying to comprehend what they're doing looks pretty cool.
Yeah, but you can't
But
tell what's
you
happening.
Can't tell what's happening because they're cutting it so much.
Yeah, so the first half of this movie doesn't matter. I don't,
It's
we,
so-
I don't
it's
even
so
think.
bad.
Like every time someone swings or like shoots, it'll like cut. It's just-
Yeah.
I don't think
it's
we
so
even need
bad.
to talk about it.
Yeah. So like,
Yeah.
The plot
One of
doesn't
the
matter.
things-
They
one
go
of-
back to the hive. That's all we
yeah,
need
they
to
go
know.
back to the hive because the Red Queen is determined to wipe out all humanity. Except actually,
And
she's
with
not.
what
Yeah.
goal?
The fifth movie ends with them saying that the Red Queen
Wants to wipe out.
wants to wipe out all of
Which
humanity.
makes no sense.
Yeah, makes no sense because
Because
her number
her-
one objective in the first movie was
is
to save humanity.
human life. So unless you're like on a plot level, you could be like, oh, Wesker's just lying, obviously.
Mhm.
But like the movie doesn't really do it that way.
No.
Also, at the end of movie 5, Wesker gives Alice her powers back.
Yeah.
But then in movie 6, Alice
has
is
her
like, it
powers.
was a trick. No, she says it
Oh,
was
yeah.
a trick at the beginning. So she just doesn't have her powers.
And literally everything cool about
Out.
everything
They're just
cool
like,
is
here's
over.
this- Ah, never mind.
It's the
Yeah.
same as the
Yeah.
clones.
Yeah.
They do that
Um,
again. Except they don't even do a cool scene at the beginning. They just
That's
say it's
true.
all over.
Yeah. This is where they introduce Alicia
Garrett's
Marcus
Bad.
and
Lisa Marcus.
and James.
Nah, they don't
Marcus?
matter.
Well, they do. They're important for this movie. Garrett doesn't care, but I care. I think it's sweet.
I don't even think they are important.
Yeah, they are because Alicia Marcus. Never mind. I'll run through the broad strokes of
Okay.
it.
Oh yeah, no, they are important.
Yeah.
You can explain that.
Okay, so James Marcus
matter.
is the original founder of Umbrella,
Yep.
and he created Umbrella so he could make a virus that would reverse progeria, which is this like hyper aging disease that his daughter Alicia Marcus had. So he creates.
This is the bit from the first episode that I was talking about, where it's literally the doctor and her and his daughter
Yeah.
from the second movie that they just retconned and now like
It's
replaced
yeah,
with
they replaced
Alicia
with
and
these
whatever's
characters.
face. Anyway, continue.
Um,
Sorry.
James Marcus gets killed by his business partner, Alexander
Yeah,
Isaacs, who's the
Isaacs.
villain from the third one, who's back in this one. Because it turns out that the one from the third one was a clone. There's also
everyone's a
another
clone.
one running around in this movie, but he's
Who's
also, a clone.
Yeah.
And he's like hyper religious.
Yeah.
And like
he,
the
like,
typical
hangs out in, like, a
disrespectful. Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
Yeah. So he makes the T-virus to save his daughter. He gets killed, and now Isaacs and her share the company.
Yeah.
And so he can't do anything without her express permission. And then that's kind of where that plot ends for now, and then they tie it back around at the end.
Yeah.
Um
The only other important thing is that I think they might explain this at the, or no, because they explain this when they meet the super religious version of Isaacs, and he
Mhm.
explains that he caused the whole zombie apocalypse. They staged almost everything in the first
Yeah.
2 movies
yeah.
because the idea was to just create the apocalypse and destroy all of humanity in order to like,
Yeah, biblical
And-
flood-esque.
biblical
cleanse
flood,
the
end
humanity.
it, cleanse it on their own terms for whatever reason.
Yeah, so that Umbrella could rule the world.
So
What
essentially,
world?
Like,
everything in
yeah,
all of the
what
first
was
5
the-
movies was staged in order to kill everyone.
Yeah. And so you remember how the Red Queen is evil?
Yeah.
No.
So the Red Queen goes to Alice and says, "Hey, you need to save humanity, and you have 2 days to do so. You have to find the vaccine that kills every organism with the T-virus. You have to find it inside of the hive,
hive.
from movie 1,
The first one.
and then just destroy it out, like not
Which
destroy it,
also-
but detonate it outside the hive so that it can be airborne and spread to the whole planet
Which also, once
and
again,
end the apocalypse."
doesn't really make sense because they blew up Raccoon City, which had the hive underneath it.
Well, the yes and no, because the hive itself is in the Arklay Mountains, which is outside of Raccoon
okay.
City.
Okay. Fair enough. Respect.
Yeah. I thought the mansion was outside of Raccoon City, and then the rail car
Yeah, that's what I thought.
brought them to underneath Raccoon City.
That's what I
where
thought,
the hive
too.
is.
Oh no, you're right. My
Yeah.
bad.
The
Yeah,
hive
so
It is
when,
under.
so when they
Raccoon City.
nuked Raccoon City,
it should have been.
it should have
destroyed,
been
but it
destroyed,
wasn't.
but it wasn't. Anyway,
But
that
then
doesn't
also
really
they
matter.
revealed that the
Underground,
that's true.
so-
And they also revealed that the hive has like all of Umbrella, like all the officials inside of it, and like cryostasis, don't they?
All of the what? The
like
officials?
Umbrella officials and higher ups.
Yeah,
Aren't they all,
at
like,
the
in
bottom.
there?
Yeah, that's at the end. So this is what I mean. The first half of the movie doesn't matter.
Yeah, the first half of the movie doesn't matter.
They do
Claire
a
is
bunch
back.
of stuff, I guess. They meet
She doesn't
Claire and her
matter.
Yeah,
boyfriend.
there's some action scenes.
The people get killed by
Like
the.
none of them are even really that cool until
yeah,
the end.
none of them matter.
One thing that was cool though, okay, so Isaac's his like weird religious fanatic clone
Mhm.
Yeah,
basically like roams around in this tank with like a group of people
Mhm.
and
cult.
like this cult basically, and he has a bunch of like crucifixes everywhere
Fixes.
in his tank. But they have like a horde of zombies right at their tail, and
All
they
the time.
drive their tanks just fast enough
to keep
so
ahead.
that so that they're ahead of the horde. And if they have any like prisoners, like Alice, after a while, they like tie the prisoner to a rope and kind of like make them follow along in between the horde and the tank.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I thought that
Well,
was
not
really
really.
well. It's,
Again,
I
fun
think it's pretty
concept.
yeah, very cool concept, but like
Not used
that
much.
Yeah, not used much, and then that character kind of becomes irrelevant once
Yeah.
the rest of the plot
Yeah.
Mhm.
unfolds, and then
Yeah.
he comes back and at the end like as like a cameo almost.
Yeah. As
But
He literally just to tie up loose ends. He comes
Yeah.
back at the end.
as Joel says during the movie a lot, this movie's kind
was,
of
yeah.
Maze Runner esque.
oh,
There's
it
a lot
was
of scenes.
kind of Maze Runner, like the Scorch
Trials,
Death
yeah.
Cure kinda-
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
I see
totally. Because wasn't there even like a sliding scene where
Yeah,
Alice runs and
yeah.
slides under a door?
Yeah.
Like this was totally
No, they
Maze
do.
Runner.
They do
Inspired,
the closing scene, like in the
Mhm.
Maze
Yeah.
Runner when
Oh,
he
they
goes through
do,
the
and-
wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
there's that, and then the sliding scene, and then just the overall like vibe and aesthetic of the
Mhm.
movie.
It's
Yeah.
very-
It's very Maze Runner.
Yeah.
which isn't like bad. I like. those
No,
Maze
it's
Runner
cool.
movies,
I think it's cool.
but
Can we-
There's one thing we noticed.
Do we skip most of the plot?
yeah,
and just
I don't think
skip to the
no,
end.
Let's skip to the
Okay,
end.
so yeah,
Cool
so the
action
end,
scenes.
the
Yeah.
twists and stuff at the end, I'll give them this, are like actually super sick.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
pretty fun.
yeah.
But
6 movie sucks.
Yeah.
All the like the plot stuff is really cool. The
Yeah,
movie sucks.
the movie sucks. Like there's a lot of payoffs here that are cool, but they would be cooler if they were
The
from
movie was
earlier
good.
movies.
Yeah,
And if they were from movies before this, because basically Claire and
Alice.
also, how is Claire back? Where was she for 5? It doesn't matter. Chris is probably
it
dead
doesn't
too.
matter.
Whatever.
Yeah, they don't even
Alice-
mention Chris.
Alice and Claire go to the hive and they get to like the room where Wesker Isaacs, the real Isaacs, not the weird religious
Yeah.
fanatic one, is, and Alicia Marcus are.
But she's like old.
But she's old because of her progeria.
Yeah.
And basically, it's revealed that Alicia Marcus and the Red Queen is based on Alicia Marcus,
Mhm.
and Alice is a clone
Of
was
Alicia
a-
of
Marcus.
Alicia
choice.
Marcus.
With the diseases like cured.
Yeah, with the disease
The perfect
cured.
So she's
version.
she's
Yeah,
she's meant to be
she's-
the version that Alicia could never be.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
woman Alicia could never
Never
be,
be.
which
Yeah.
I really like.
I really
That was
like
really
that.
cool.
I
That was cool.
really
Yeah.
like that
Yeah.
twist. And Alicia kind of sees Alice as an opportunity to set things right because Alicia never stopped Isaacs from making all these choices that led to
Yeah.
the end of humanity, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is this, I get that like Isaacs has to be a physical threat, but they could have made it Wesker.
Yeah.
But like he has like predictive combat
Yeah.
software
Oh my
in
goodness.
his head.
That was
It's
Whack.
so funny. Like,
Alice like envisioned herself
killing
grabbing
him.
like three different paths kind of
Mhm.
like she envisioned herself like grabbing like a bottle of like whiskey or whatever and then like a pen I think it was.
Yeah, a
And,
pen,
like,
an ice
what was
pick,
it?
and
an
a
ice pick.
yeah.
Yeah, she literally
to,
has like a
kill
Madam
him,
Web moment.
right? Yeah. Precognition.
Precog.
Precog.
And then he has like precog of her precog.
It's so
like,
funny.
sees
He's
that,
like,
and then it cuts to his like
Yeah.
probability of him
her
count, like,
dying 3
carrying
times. Yeah.
her and killing her.
It's
Yeah.
so
What?
funny.
It's
He like
pretty
looks
sick.
at her and
It's
he's like, you never get to the fountain pen or
Yeah.
the ice pick or the I don't know
Whiskey.
daiquiri, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Whiskey,
she's like,
not daiquiri.
what?
Anyway.
What?
How does she overcome him again? Is
So-
it-
So you go.
Okay. So they do all the explanation of like Alicia,
yeah.
whatever her
Mhm,
name is,
mhm.
and they kind of just sideswipe Wesker. I don't
Yeah.
really remember.
No, I love this
Okay,
scene.
you explain
So
that.
like earlier in the movie, the Red Queen establishes that she can't actually hurt any of the employees of Umbrella,
yeah,
so
I
then
remember this.
Alicia
Oh my
Marcus-
gosh.
looks at
she's like,
Wesker.
"You're-"
and she's like, "You're fired." And then the Red Queen
Yeah.
like slams the door on his
Yeah.
leg and cuts his foot
Oh,
off.
right.
Like
Oh my
immediately.
gosh,
the
it's
payoff
so
is
cool.
so sick.
It's so good.
Oh, because
It's like the RoboCop
like
scene.
like you almost half expect Alicia to be like this overlord evil lady,
Mhm.
and then she's just like immediately on Alice's side, and it's
yeah,
so
she's
sick.
so
Yeah.
cool.
the three versions of Alice: the child, the Red
Mhm.
Queen,
And
the
yeah.
old,
Yeah.
the elderly lady, and Alice all team up, and it's so
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it was
And the
really
way it's like revealed to her that she's a clone is pretty depressing. Like
Yeah.
Isaacs is basically just like, you don't have a childhood.
Yeah, you don't matter.
Yeah, 'cause
You don't remember
she's like
that.
everything before the mansion from the
She
first
doesn't
one.
remember.
Yeah.
She,
Is
she was
which I think retroactively is a good writing choice. I
Yeah.
think that
Yeah.
actually works.
Yeah,
But retconning in Alicia Marcus doesn't work.
no, not really.
Like-
That should have been the plan from the beginning.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
you could totally
You
make
could've.
it. You could have done it.
You could have.
Yeah.
But anyway.
But they didn't.
But they didn't.
Oh well.
And then Claire. Oh my gosh. Oh. Alice gives Wesker like a grenade. And
Yeah.
he's like, as long
Yeah.
as you keep this trigger depressed, you're
You
chilling.
won't die.
You won't die. But if you let go,
You'll
you're
die.
dead. So then Alice leaves
Yeah,
to fight.
Alice leaves to follow Isaac.
Yeah, to fight
So
Isaacs.
They're in the hive, remember? So they're
Yeah.
in the place from the first movie, and they
Mhm.
go back to the laser room.
Oh my
Oh, yeah.
gosh.
They
this
go
scene
back
is
to
so
the
good.
laser
Now.
room.
Yeah, it's all dirty.
except
So
for
this is-
where the lasers go.
Yeah.
This also is a super sick writing choice
Yes,
because number
this is
one,
so cool.
it goes back to the first movie, but
Yeah.
it also goes back to the third movie because the last time
Mhm.
she fought Isaacs,
It was in
she
this
beat him
room.
in that room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the fact that Isaacs brought her back to that room to
Mhm.
fight her for the last time
yeah.
is so cool.
I also would argue that this room is arguably the most dangerous thing in the entire series.
yeah,
Like
potentially.
every time it
Probably.
appears,
Someone
it
almost dies.
consistently
Yeah.
murders someone. Like
Yeah.
it's not like the zombies where they can like write it to be weak or
Yeah.
whatever. It's like every time someone's
There's
in
not-
this room,
there's a-
someone is
yeah.
going to die.
There's no
Yeah.
really way to get around it.
Yeah.
You just
Yeah, so
shut
they
it down.
fight in there, and like neither of them actually defeat either one in
Yeah.
that room, but the fight in there is so
It's
sick.
so cool.
It's so cool.
You
when she
like
takes him
watching
down.
her. Remember when she like dodges the lasers by like putting her legs?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, that was so
And
cool.
he'll just like lean over super nonchalant.
yeah, yeah.
He's just like
She's like doing the most,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he just is. He's
Yeah.
chilling.
And then at the end, he like
grabs her hand and she's like on her knees,
Mhm.
has one hand because he's holding her hand at the level of the laser.
Yeah.
And it goes and it cuts like her fingertips off.
Yeah.
But then it's revealed that while she let that happen, because while she was like getting her, like he was distracted with that, she slipped a grenade
In
his coat pocket.
Yeah.
yeah.
And yeah.
And then
he
it like
blows up.
explodes
Yeah.
in a really like, I think it's a very satisfying explosion because it's small,
Mhm.
but it's enough that he like staggers and falls over and like
Yeah.
dies. It's really,
Yeah.
it's cool.
Mind you, he's not
waffle,
dead.
No waffle grid.
He's not
yes,
dead.
he's not dead.
He's not dead.
But it feels very
no waffle grid
satisfying.
this
No
time.
waffle.
No waffle grid.
waffle grid.
So she gets on the elevator with Claire.
Yeah.
They shoot
and goes
back
to the
up.
surface because she has the vaccine now.
Yeah, she has vaccine and it's airborne. So as soon as she like,
Yeah. As soon as she breaks
Cracks it open.
it'll kill everything with the
all
T
zombies.
virus.
Yeah.
It'll kill all the
which is so
zombies.
weird.
She goes to like, or do you want to say this? Or?
No, you got it. You
She
got it.
like she's standing there like dramatically because so she has the T virus inside of her too. So if she uses the vaccine,
She'll
she
also
should
die.
also
Yeah.
die. So she's like kind of, she's not hesitating. Like she knows she has to do what she has to do,
Uh-huh.
but she takes it kind of slow. Like she drops it, and then
Yeah.
Isaacs grabs it, and you're like, oh no, oh no.
Isaacs catches it,
and
and
then-
then religious Isaacs shows
Brother
up.
Isaac
Yeah.
the clone comes.
Yeah,
And like he's in disbelief that he's not the real one.
Yeah, he
Mhm.
sees the real
He's
Isaac.
like, no. And he just gets triggered and like
Kills him.
brutalizes him. He
Stabs him like
7
19 times.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And his predictive software or whatever is like life support 0%.
yeah. And then Alice takes the vial again
Yeah,
and
and
then
she drops it.
smashes it.
this time
Yeah.
doesn't just drop.
And
it,
in
she
like, I think this is a really pretty shot too.
Oh yeah.
Of
The like zombies are just about to
A
reach her and then they
horde
like
of
all
zombies.
fall
yeah,
back.
because they
Yeah.
die.
Yeah, 'cause they die.
They die,
Yeah.
It looks really cool.
and then we
I
cut to
think.
black.
Because
Do we?
there's a
Yeah.
bit of monologue. She's like, it'll take a few years before
No, there's more stuff here.
there's more
No,
stuff.
they
Yeah.
cut to black first, and then they come back, and Alice is still alive
Yeah, right. Yes.
because it only
Right,
killed.
because she's supposed to die and then it's revealed that
Yeah, it's
I don't know about this writing. This writing is iffy.
This writing's iffy.
It's kind
I-
of cool.
It kind of makes sense, but I think it's not believable in the sense that by this point Alice shouldn't need to prove herself
yeah,
because she's made the right choice so
Yeah.
many times. Basically, the Red Queen shows up with this contact lens and is like, well, the contact lens is there and like a projection comes up and it's the Red Queen and the Red Queen's like, we in her little British accent, we had to prove that you weren't like the rest of them.
Right.
That you would sacrifice your life to save the world like no one at Umbrella could do.
Yeah.
hmm
And then they're like, because she did,
hmm
she chose to save the world,
even though she thought she would die.
even though
Yeah.
she thought she would
But
die.
Alicia and the Red Queen knew that she wouldn't.
Yeah. And they give her this contact lens that has like all of Alicia Marcus's childhood memories. And so she gets
Right.
to
And then-
effectively become the real
So
Alice.
she
Which
gets
is
the
so
memories
sick.
and
It's
the real
so
memories.
sick.
That was really sweet because she has no childhood
Yeah.
essentially,
Yeah.
but she has all like the fun modern like newer memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
And
gets
then-
both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't tear up, but I could tear up.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
lo-
No,
I
actually, it was
legitimately
sick. It was
love
heartfelt.
that scene.
It was
It's
really
so
sweet.
sweet.
Yeah.
And it's
One
weird.
of the best endings to a series, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Alice
Yeah.
is such a cool
Alice is-
Yeah,
protagonist.
she's a really cool
Protagonist.
protagonist. And then, like, minus all the bits of her being like naked on the floor in like
Yeah.
every movie, she's like one of the coolest like women protagonists
Yeah.
in like
Yeah.
ever.
She's so
Yeah.
cool. I
100%.
really like her.
Mhm.
But yeah, you were saying now about the
Oh yeah, so now this is when there's the monologue. So basically,
Mhm.
her and so she leaves with Claire, and then Claire is just, I don't know what happens to her. She just assumed like
yeah,
just assumed that she just like goes
does her
somewhere.
own thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But basically, she rides her motorcycle, and she's like, it'll take years for the antidote
To
to
reach.
reach
to
everyone.
like reach the whole world via
Mhm.
the air.
Yeah.
But yeah,
yeah.
that's it.
Like the
Yeah.
world will be saved. There
Yeah,
are
and so
there
it,
are
like,
like a few
ends-
outposts of people still alive.
Yeah. And so it
Yeah.
ends with her riding into the city as like the flying creatures
Yeah.
chase her.
Yeah.
It was sick.
It was sick. This
ending is
this
so
series'
cool.
ending is so cool.
Yeah.
But the sixth movie, other than like
As a whole,
as a whole, is not
is
good.
not great,
It's horrible.
but there's some cool plot twists.
Yeah, there's some
and
really cool
It
plot
kind of just
twists.
ties a bow on top of all of it.
Yeah.
at the end. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ratings, gentlemen?
Okay,
What do you think?
mine is very specific.
Okay.
It's the knife that the religious Isaacs uses specifically.
Okay.
Because it's the one, it's first of all, it's a knife. It's not
Yeah.
really that useful because this movie sucks.
Mm.
But it's kind of cool
Mm-hmm.
because it's like the knife was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And it has the like inscription, which
Mhm.
like doesn't really make a lot of sense.
At all. It
At
says
all?
like vengeance is mine, saith the Lord.
Yeah, like it's of some verse, but it
Yeah.
doesn't really make sense. But the fact that it's
Yeah.
like it has the verse is
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
Like this movie is really cool
Mhm.
in its like plot points and the way it wraps the whole series up, but the movie sucks. It would not
Yeah.
be useful in an apocalypse.
Yeah. I agree 100% for all the same reasons. And my weapon is a water gun filled with hydrochloric acid. Because it sounds really good. Like we're talking about it and it sounds pretty good.
yeah.
But like when you think about it for too long, the entire concept of the weapon falls apart.
yeah.
Right.
And I think this movie is a lot like that.
Mhm.
It has some really cool parts.
That's
Yeah.
good.
It's
That's a
fun.
good
Yeah, I can
answer.
analyze it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my
Interesting. I think, okay, for me, kind of like similar to what Garrett was saying with like a knife, but like a butterfly knife. So you know the ones that you like
Mm,
flip.
Yeah.
So like there's some really cool flashy tricks you can do with it. Just like this
Mhm.
movie had a lot of really cool kind of like concepts and like the end, the twist and all
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
But I feel like when unproperly kind of like utilized, you can like mess yourself up. Like
Fumble.
if you're
Yeah.
moving the knife around, you can cut yourself easily.
Mhm.
So like with this movie, they had a lot of really cool things, but they kind of like messed around with it in like
Yeah.
a bad way that it kind of just wasn't executed properly. And so it
Mhm.
kind of fell short
Yeah.
of what it like its potential, I think.
Mhm.
But overall, yeah, as a whole, like all 6 movies, great.
Dude.
Yeah.
100%
They're
I
so
can recommend them.
Like I said in the last episode, this was like we've done like 3 of these marathons now. That was like one of the easiest ones I've
Yeah,
done
I
because it
know,
was
that one
so
was
good.
That's
so
like
good.
6 movies. Like we were not burnt out. We took some breaks.
Yeah.
obviously,
Yeah,
but
we took some
Yeah,
long
like-
breaks,
chilling.
but
With
that
the-
movie, they were
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah, they were sick. With the other marathons, usually by like movie 5, it's kind of unbearable.
Yeah, movie 5.
And then movie 6, we get our second win. But
yeah,
this one,
there's usually like a hump period. Like
yeah,
like when we watched the first marathon we did, the 5th movie. I've seen the 5th movie before, and it's kind of cool.
mhm.
But the 5th movie was hard to
Was that-
watch.
which one was
That was Sharknado. The
Yeah.
5th movie is really cool on its
Yeah.
own, but
yeah,
when we watch them all together, the 5th movie is really hard to
Yeah.
watch.
I felt that when we did like the Sony,
And then when we did the
movies,
Sony
Yeah.
one,
like because Venom 3 was our
was
5th.
so hard
It
to
was
watch.
Venom
so
3, I
bad.
did not watch.
It's
it.
not
Like, I was
really a
mad
good
I didn't watch it.
movie.
But then
Yeah.
the 6th one
Was so
was
good.
so great.
Yeah.
Like, but this one,
This one is
all of them
consistently
were.
good.
yeah,
good.
it's consistently
I'd
good.
say
I
I'd
think,
say the 4th one
yeah, that was the
because
hump.
it was
I
at that
would
point of
say.
the day we were just tired. But then when
Yeah.
we got coffee at
Yeah.
we were good.
But it was still like good.
But it was still
There
good,
wasn't
Yeah.
anything about the movie itself that made it hard to watch. Because
Yeah.
like Venom 3, I'm sorry, it's hard to watch.
It was hard to watch.
But these movies are all
Like, I
consistently
didn't feel like going on
pretty
my
fun.
phone.
Yeah.
Like
I do definitely feel that something that added to it is that the second half is better than the first half
True.
because
true,
the
true.
movies
Yeah.
are so cool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Like,
Like if
4 or
all of the
5
movies
carry.
had been equal to the first movie, it probably would have been
Yeah.
hard to watch by the
Yeah.
end. Like it did actually quite ramp up well.
yeah, and I think it's part of the fact that like every movie is so ridiculously different.
they're
Mhm.
all so unique. They're
yeah,
all- yeah.
Yeah.
You
No.
get fatigued of like the same.
yeah,
And the
people and
characters
things.
are sick.
yeah. They're
It's
sick.
like the characters, like although Alice isn't all of them, they're all
Mhm.
different pretty much in every
Yeah.
movie.
yeah,
So it keeps things fresh.
yeah, and you get it like fairly attached to them, mostly just because they're
yeah.
cool.
There's
Yeah.
someone in each movie apart from Alice that you can be like.
And
Yeah.
like the series, as like kind of obscure as it is, it's
Mhm.
really good at creating really good female characters, which is kind
Yeah.
of refreshing.
Well,
There's
like
so many female
Ada
leads.
Wong.
like Ada Wong is
Jill,
so cool.
Claire.
Jill is so
Claire,
cool.
Kmart.
Claire is so cool. Kmart
She says,
doesn't
like, 2
exist.
words.
yeah,
Just like-
Rain.
Rain.
Even though
Rain
she's
is
not in it
sick.
much, she's
Yeah.
really cool.
She's really
Totally.
cool.
The Red Queen is like, I think she's novel, but she's fun every time
Yeah.
she shows up.
Queen.
Like the
No,
not
White
the
Queen doesn't exist.
Like every time she shows up, you're like reliably waiting for that. You're all going to die down here.
Yeah,
Which
she
I
says it all 3
love.
times.
What a
That line is
cold line.
so cool.
It's so
Yeah.
cool. She
Oh
says
my
it
gosh.
3 times. We
She
didn't even
says
mention
it-
in the 6th one. She says it straight to Isaac.
Yeah, it's
She
so
looks. She
good.
looks Isaacs in the eye and is like, "You're going to die down here."
I think she's referring to like all of Umbrella though.
Yeah.
She's like,
Yeah.
you're all going to die down here.
so good.
Such a good like reversal of the
Yeah.
concept. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I could.
The writing is
Mm.
surprisingly decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
Totally.
like if these movies
The
were
film,
remade and like condensed,
they could maybe
you
make
could
a
have
good
something
series.
really good.
Yeah.
One thing too is the dialogue wasn't
Mhm.
bad.
No,
Yeah.
that's
a lot
true.
of cheesy kind of movies.
It
like
definitely
this,
feels-
the dialogue could be kind of like unnatural, like kind of
Mhm.
like inorganic.
But it was
Mhm.
But no,
good.
I didn't even
Yeah.
question it, and that's usually
Yeah.
the first thing I question when I watch.
Yeah,
That's
these
true.
movies.
The
I-
worst thing about these movies was the cinematography.
Yeah,
in most
I
of them,
agree.
like the
Yeah.
cutting, the editing, like it
Yeah.
just wasn't good.
I would even argue that these movies are pretty minimal in terms of dialogue. Like a
Yeah.
lot of what
Yeah,
they
it's
do,
not the
they do
focus.
visually.
Yeah,
yeah,
Which is also really
they say
cool.
what need to. They say what they need.
that's
to
how it
say,
should be.
Yeah,
and-
it's
Yeah.
really cool.
Totally.
Yeah. No, it was a really
Yeah,
good series.
definitely. I would definitely, for me at least, I'd recommend the last three and maybe the ending of the third
Yeah.
one.
I would honestly, I would
like you
genuinely
have to
recommend
watch them
all
all.
6 of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to watch
If
them
you've
all,
played the
but I love the
games-
last three.
If you play the games, you'll have a good time. I think even if you haven't,
Yeah.
Yeah, I
but
mean,
it's
if
nice to have people. It's nice to kind of like introduce yourself to the series, not through these
Yeah.
movies. That's
For sure.
yeah, if you want like the survival horror vibes of Resident Evil, you're not gonna get it here.
no.
Yeah.
But if you love like Resident Evil 5, Resident Evil 6, Village, probably,
Yeah.
you would love these movies.
Yeah.
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 I think. I haven't played 8, but
yeah. I don't know.
8 is quite different, but yeah. No, I think
Like,
if you
it's
just
the-
like if you know the series as like the video games,
Yeah.
totally check out the movie.
If you just
Yeah.
want a good like action movie,
Yeah.
like
If you want
these
a good marathon,
these
to
are
watch with your
zombie
friends.
movies.
Yeah.
These are zombie movies. These are not zombie
they're not
movies.
zombie movies.
Like
if you,
these
they're
are
movies with zombies.
fun action movies.
yeah, they're really fun action movies.
Totally.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
fun low budget. Well, not even low budget, but like
Yeah, they're
the
high
fun,
budget. Like
the
Yeah.
as it goes
fun,
on.
As it goes on,
Random.
it gets better, yeah.
yeah.
And there's enough like cheese to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that you can make fun of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, it's kind of like it's like in that perfect sweet spot of like a bad movie that's also really good,
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
that you can like watch it and kind of poke fun at it, but also just like not waste your time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
If you have good friends with you, you can just laugh at it and just have a good time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's worth the $5-6 each.
Yeah, for sure.
Cost.
Yeah.
10 out of 10, all
10
6 of them. Watch them.
Except the sixth one.
Don't watch
Maybe-
the 6th one.
No, but you have
Watch
to.
You
the-
have to watch the second
Just
half
watch
of
the
the sixth one.
second. Yeah.
Watch the
Just
opening 10
skip-
minutes and like
and
the
then
last
skip
half
to the
hour.
last
That's what I would do. That's exactly how
That's
I
our
would say
You
to
won't
watch the
miss
6th
even
movie.
one thing.
I don't think you will.
No.
Truthfully, you
I
might be
don't think
confused a little bit.
I've forgotten everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Dude. Well, it's been great.
Yeah.
It's been so fun.
Thank you so much for
Yes.
having me on for this 2-parter.
Of course.
Episode.
Thanks for
Epi?
coming.
Yeah,
Thanks for
my
showing
Thanks for
up.
being on the pod.
the
The
pod.
podcast.
The
Well, it was
White
an
Guy
honor. I wish you all the best with your guys'. What's the next marathon? What's the next movie? Are you
The next
The next
Inception?
episode.
the
is
next episode will be
Inception.
Inception.
Next
Well, that
marathon.
one's gonna be
who
fun.
knows? That's
Next
gonna be-
marathon.
marathon.
Next marathon for the podcast. We'll probably talk about
Oh.
Sharknado.
Okay.
We have to watch.
We
No, we
have
don't. No,
plans.
we
We
don't.
have we actually have we have plans for the.
Yeah,
marathon.
guys,
Oh
Let's not talk
yeah.
about it.
Let's not talk about it here.
Joel will be back.
I'm usually,
Oh
I'm-
yeah.
Yeah, I would love to be back. I'm often at the movie like viewing.
Yeah, it's true.
It's just the podcast that I often sit out on.
Skip
'cause,
out
like,
on.
It's your guys' thing.
Yeah,
you know?
dude,
It's
Joel
it's
will
what
be
we're doing.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so will
For some
other
more.
guests too.
We have some
Yeah.
other guests
Yes.
that will be on as well.
Some
Should we
fellas.
should we get Gabby for one of the other Resident Evil movies?
Yo, we
Because there
should-
are
we should.
more.
Gabby, do it. If
Gabby,
you're
do
watching,
it. If
hit
you're
us up.
watching.
Let us
Hit
know.
Us
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Yeah.
thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks for watching.
This 2-parter.
Yes.
I'm sure you've watched all 2.5 hours of something. That,
If you haven't, you're missing out so hard.
yeah,
Because
these
this
were
was
good.
so
These were good
fun.
episodes. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, listening, whatever you're doing on
Yes.
YouTube, Spotify, whatever.
SoundCloud. Just kidding.
SoundCloud. Anyway,
Anyway.
that's it.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming. Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh. Good morning.
Perfect. Good morning. That's it.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.
Sweet.
Oh, I love the second one way more than the first one. That one was so
Yeah, the
good.
second one was good.
Oh my god.